How the heck are y'all? Hope y'all are all out there doing well. Want to welcome you into this live viewing here. You're watching my channel, Modern Renaissance Man, and I'm Ty Smith. What I'm going to do, like I do in all my other videos, even when I do go live, I am going to do a lot of small talk while you guys are gathering in here. So in case you are watching this at a later time, you might be watching this. What's going on, Blue Creek? You guys might be watching this at a later time, but if you are, typically, if I were you, if you were watching this at a later time, like if you're watching this after I recorded this, you probably want to jump ahead to 3 to 5 minutes because it's a good chance I'm just going to do a lot of lollygagging, a lot of talking, a lot of pretty much filibustering, whatever like that, just to kind of, make time. So like even like right now, the amount that I've said already thus far is already, I'm already 1 minute in. So anyway, just want to talk to y'all a little bit before we get into this subject right here, this breaking news that I'm already going to jump ahead of the game and call it. Some of you guys have written me emails and everything like that, and I just want to say to all of you, I do thank y'all for y'all your emails, your kind words, even you trolls that call in here saying things like, you wish and you hope that when Trump gets in here that I'm going to be more broke than I've ever been before. Well, unfortunately for you, during the time where everybody was going through this current inflation and all that under Joe Biden, I still continue to thrive. So I don't know how much worse you think it's going to get under Trump. But anyway, I appreciate the sentiments anyhow. Who's all in here right now? Because I only see Blue Creech in here. And I don't know if you guys are saying anything else. I do know there's been some strange things that's been going on with YouTube lately that when you guys are in here live with me, I don't get to see the I don't get to see what you guys are saying. So I see that Renee said something. Renee said, I'm here, or Renee, however you say it, said that I'm here, which I'm able to see that. So I appreciate that right there. We got, Blue Creek said I'm doing fine. Okay, I can see that. But most of everybody else, what's going on? Okay, there we go. RF is in the house, says, love you, brother. We got independent contractor in the house. Heaven's Choir is in the house, says my first live with you. Love your channel. Hey, Heaven's Choir, I appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. Caveman says, long time viewer, don't get to catch you live that often. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little better at going live for you guys. I promise I'm doing that. Murphy is in the house. We got Julie J in the house. We got Effective Word in the house. We have June T in the house. We got Christy from Tennessee in the house. June T is from Garden, Florida, one of my home states. Tennessee is one of my home states. Linda says hello from Texas. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button if you do not mind. Make sure that you're hitting that thumbs up button. We got K Love in the house. Got Linda in the house from Texas. Okay, we're approaching 3 minutes, so I'm gonna give a little bit more time for people to get in here. So if you are watching this at a later time, besides the live recording, then I'm telling you right now, you might want to skip ahead to the 5 minute mark. Vertical lives are great, Renee says. Yeah, apparently because more people seem to get notified whenever I do go live on vertical. I got a question for you guys because I don't know this. I know it may seem like because of all the subs and I've been doing YouTube for a while. Does it tell you guys that I'm vertical? Like, what does it do? Like, because I don't get it. Like, a lot of notifications completely go haywire in the live vertical than it does when I actually do it for my studio using all this equipment I have here. While you guys answer that, just let me know. Jeff Painter is from West Virginia in the house. Blue Creatures from Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, have they called it yet? Kerry Lake and all that. Got Cheryl Landry is from Houston in the house. Appreciate you guys all being in here. Appreciate it. Again, we are upon 4 minutes right now. So if you are watching this at a later time, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of this until about 5 minutes, and then we can go from there. Let some of my moderators know that I am live, and I'm going to take it from there. So you guys, y'all gathering in here and all that good stuff. Again, I appreciate you all being in here. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, or you double tap your screen if you're on the computer. Tanya Sparks from Virginia. Hello. I get way more views somehow from vertical lives. No clue why, though. I understand. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wait, what? Rockland, California is in the house. Woo, y'all went good in red this time, too. A lot of states went really red. About 15 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this, ladies and gents, and get on into it. All right, you are 5 minutes in right now, and if you are watching this at a later time, you're watching my channel, Model Renaissance Man. I appreciate you guys all being in here. Do not forget, if you are on this watching a computer, to hit that thumbs up button. That way my content can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. It also helps push this channel's message out there in the shadow banning YouTube world, okay? Also, don't forget to double check and make sure that you still are subscribed to the channel, because it is a good chance that you have been unsubscribed to my channel, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys all read the topic right there. You all read the title to this. And the thing is that as of right now, technically it hasn't been called yet, but I'm saying it right now that the Republicans, they're going to win control of the House. The Republicans win control of the U.S. House of Representatives. All 435 House seats were up for re-election. Republicans have solidified total control of Congress. 25 races were considered toss-ups. Okay? Now, here's the thing. It says in the 15 House race in 2022, winners came out on top by fewer than 2 percentage points over the opponents. And this year, 7 of those races were rematches between incumbents and the same challengers. In California, 13th District, Republican freshman Rep. John Doherty faced Democratic challenger Adam Gray once again, while in the state's 22nd District, Republican David Valado, the former California Assemblyman Rudy Salas, also met with a rematch. While there were hundreds of races, just a tenth were deemed competitive. 25 were considered toss-ups, and 18 races were rated as either leaning Democrat or leaning Republican. But as of right now, it is like pretty much being called that the Republicans are going to win it. So I want you guys to hear this because I don't want to be copyrighted. Let me know if y'all can hear this though. Here we go.
Back now with major breaking news and a race call to announce this evening. Decision Desk HQ can now project that Republicans will keep control of the House of Representatives. That means they will have at least 218 seats, Democrats at 209. So still another 10 or 11 seats to call. This is enormous. That means Republicans will control the House, the Senate, and the White House. It will have a major impact on how Donald Trump will be able to govern, has a major pick in terms of who he is able to pick for his cabinet, from how the Senate will confirm those cabinet picks. Also a major influence on what kind of legislation he can get through, with Republicans now controlling the House of Representatives. That means a Republican majority leader in the Senate and now a Republican Speaker of the House when Donald Trump takes office on January 20th. Oh, thanks for watching.
Woo! Woo! You know what? I told y'all the Trump trifecta is in effect, and it's because of us, ladies and gentlemen. Man, if y'all have any idea how much impact that we, the people, had on this election, y'all, we need to celebrate each other. I get it. We all of our senators, all of our state reps, all of those in Congress and maybe Republican, we need to make sure that we are celebrating each other. You and me, we did this, not them. I get it, guys. I know they're saying Trump did it. Trump. No, ladies and gentlemen, we did this. I'm telling y'all, this is what people don't understand. We did the groundwork. All of us that were behind closed doors, behind the curtains, not getting all the publicity. Y'all have no idea how much work I put in these states. A lot of work. And I did it with the utmost enthusiasm. And I'm still going to keep on going no matter what, because it's not about just this race for Trump. It's about the future. And as long as I can stay with the same energy that the Lord has blessed me with, the more I'm going to keep on doing this and spreading this word, spreading this truth, spreading this knowledge, spreading the righteousness of our country. Plain and simple. I'm going to keep this fight is not over, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we won, but I'm the type of person that as soon as we win and the enemy is dismantled, I'm already looking to go and build something. Hey, y'all. Well, hey, Ty, can't we just rest a little bit? Yeah, y'all go ahead and rest. But I'm going to go over here and keep on making sure that I got even more security in place, put more stuff in place, because even though Trump got 4 years, I'm beyond that right now. I get it, y'all. I know you're like, Ty, dude, we just won. We just did it. I know we just did it. I'm looking ahead to the future. I'm looking beyond Trump right now. I'm looking for the fifth year now. That's what I'm looking at right now. And guys, the fact that we got the House, the Senate, the presidency, what? Now I got a problem. I have a problem. This is where the real testing of some of our Republicans is going to come to play. We win. They ask us, I need your vote, senators. I'm just being real. I'm going to call y'all out. I got to be real. I have to be real. I shared the stage with you, sir. I shared the stage with you, sir. And I have a problem right now, and I hope what's being said is not real. Sir, you and I share the same stage, sir. You and I share the same stage, sir. You give me good advice, sir. But what is going on with you, from what I'm being told amongst other folks? I'm being told you got something against Rick Scott. Come on now. I mean, I told you. I told you that once we win, and we have won, I said, if things start to get to where we're going to be divided within ourselves, I said I will start calling y'all out. And good sir, you have advised me really well. You've given me good knowledge. You've given me good books to read. You've had my back. You give me, and I'm telling y'all right now, I told y'all I'm in cahoots with a lot of these people that y'all just don't know. But since we've won, as I said, I won't be calling nobody out. I won't call them any names. But my friend, I'm going to be calling you later on. I will be calling you later on because I've been told from amongst the red folks that you and Josh are having some type of issue with Mr. Scott. Now, this is the issue that I have, and I'm not saying this about that individual I just showed you guys. I'm not going to say the name out, but this is the issue that I have. I told you I'm going to keep it real. A lot of people think because I told you I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm just Ty Smith. These people that you guys all see that I've done things with, they know this. I'm in the middle. I told them I'm all for the right. Now, all I'm saying is this. Now that a lot of our people on the Republican side have won, what I don't like is now that you won, you become comfortable. You like, I got it in the bag. Why in the world and what is going on to where you are trying to go against Rick Scott? What is the deal? Are we trying to make a name for ourselves? Is there some type of monetary political benefit in it? Is there any type of monetary or political, gain in this? I don't know yet. But sir, I told you I was going to talk about this before I went live. I do want to talk to you. So don't call me now, but I do want to talk to you because I'm not going to play any games. I don't care. I am going to want to find out. Don't try to give me no bull crap. I need to know exactly what's going on because you've been pretty stern and steady. You've been a good mentor thus far, sir. Thus far. And I just want to know, what is this all about? Because I thought in myself, we are supposed to put our own personal endeavors, our own personal ambition. I thought we were doing this for the betterment of our country. And us, we, the people, we voted you guys back in. We went for you guys. Based on how the American map looked, we went hard. But what we do not need is any of this division among our own, all because somebody wants to be the man. All because somebody wants to have some type of financial gain or political gain from this. You got it. You got your seat. You got your spot back. Now thrive in that. Be that. Be the person that I have I've become pretty fond of. Be that. I don't mind the mentorship and everything, and I do thank you for all that. But all I'm saying All I'm saying, sir, is we need to talk. I don't know all the political ins and outs and what this is going to be about, but I hope you explain it to me in a way, because you know how I am. I'm real with you. You've been real with me. And I don't know how you're going to explain this to me. I might be ignorant to something. It may be something I don't know, but I don't understand how majority of all this are going towards Mr. Rick Scott and you and Josh, who two people I'm very fond of. I don't know. Anyway, folks, with that all being aside, we are in a very historic moment right now. And I know that it's hard for a lot of y'all to understand this. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button if you would, please. Hit the thumbs up button or double tap your screen. That way my content can consistently be recommended to you, okay? Make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. So what I'm saying here, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Y'all, the real patriots of America, I really want you to take some time and let this soak in. I've only been involved in the political world for a little over 3 years after knowing nothing about politics, didn't care about politics. Those that follow me on this channel know I did not care about politics. I wouldn't even talk politics on my channel. It had nothing to do with the social construct of what people say when they say you can't discuss politics. I didn't care. The reason why I never discussed politics on my channel is because I was ignorant to politics. It had nothing to do with me being afraid that somebody would like me or not like me. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with I was just ignorant to politics. But now for the last 3.5 years, I went from finding out what party did what. And don't get me wrong, I know the whole story with Abraham Lincoln. I know the slaves got free, but I know exactly what he was doing before I get all that. I went from finding all these things out to next thing I know, I'm at the White House. Then after that, next thing I know, I got to have a personal conversation along with 20 other people or 30, 40 other people with President Trump. To whereas next thing you know, I'm getting very involved in the community with what's going on within our cities of the different states that I live in, and getting involved with the schools, getting involved with different things like that. And all of a sudden I go viral. It blew up. That wasn't intentional. I didn't even know I was being recorded. It didn't even matter because I was doing this work before any videos or anything like that of me was being recorded. When they tried to come into our church with their rhetoric, at my church, we physically threw them out and called the police for trespass. We didn't sit there and say, come on, God. No, they came in there with the nonsense. We threw them out. So what happened is that in doing so, they woke a sleeping giant. And when I came back attacking, and I attacked hard, and I attacked relentlessly, and I attacked mercilessly. I did not care. I did not care if you cried. I did not care if you was already broken and you couldn't move. I'll make sure that you was going to be, metaphorically speaking, a paraplegic, that the only thing you can move is your head. Matter of fact, I even broke your jaw because I didn't even want you to speak anymore. Metaphorically speaking, folks, that means I dismantled you so hard and so bad that you can't even say nothing anymore. All you can do is just pout. That's it. You never should have did it. I wasn't even in y'all world. I didn't care about y'all world until y'all came and poked me and drugged me into your world. Now y'all don't want me to be in it. Hey, you're a little too, hey, come on, brother. Are you left or you right? No, I'm not for the left. I'm not for the right. I'm for the up. That's it. Plain and simple. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button if y'all are all in here right now. We got 708 people in here, 780 people in here right now, and we don't have nearly as half as many thumbs up. So by doing that, ladies and gentlemen, Rick Scott is Florida, not Illinois. Oh yeah, I know that. I don't know if you were saying that to me, but yeah, I know this. I have residence in Florida, Missouri, Tennessee, and Illinois. That's where my homes are. Rick Scott was awesome Rick Scott was awesome when he was our governor in Florida. I liked him a lot. I really did. Got to meet him and everything. But anyway, folks, right now, if you are a patriot of America right now, we can't talk about this in a positive way. Ladies and gentlemen, check this out. We are in such a great moment in history right now. We got to go through so much weird stuff, but to have it to where all of us, blood, patriot, want to protect our country, blood-born Americans. The fact that we did this, do y'all not understand the ramifications of what we just did? And check this out. The reason why we were able to do it is because of that. See that? We, the people, are pissed off. That's the reason why we are where we are right now, is because we, the people, got completely pissed off. Y'all, do you all understand the battle that we dismantled? We were able to put a crushing blow on mainstream media. Do y'all even understand what that means? We are getting complaints. Mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, a lot of them are complaining that individuals like myself and other podcasters and other YouTube and content creators, they're getting pissed off at us because we're taking away their viewership. We're taking away their ratings. We're taking away their subscriptions and all that to people who actually bought into their daily, because people are now turning to regular people like me and Brandon Tatum, Candace Owens, Andrew Tate, LFR and Family, ABL, Unifier TV, all kinds of different podcasters out there that people are turning to. The Anton Daniels, the Angry Man, Aaron O, Black Man Unfiltered. They are turning to a lot of us because you want to know why? Now you guys have the choice. See, at first you only had major news networks. That's the only place you can get your information from. Now you guys are able to go into your computer, go into your phone devices, and you get to listen to regular people who live among you just like me and others. Live right there among you. See the struggles, been through the struggles, dealing with these things right here. We don't have to hear from those that are making multi-million dollars working. I know, and I'm not hating on them, but the ones who are working at a lot of these news outlets, I don't care. Let's keep it real. Be it Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, Sky News, OAN, RT, it doesn't matter who they are. A lot of them are getting their narratives and getting their rhetorics from the person who's telling them to do it, which is controlled most likely by BlackRock, is all I'm saying. So although you might have Fox News playing its role in being the right and everything like that, you also got the other people playing themselves on the left. But the whole point of it is this: which side and which party seems to be pushing a certain type of rhetoric that the end game of all of it is for us to be completely divided. See, I told people this. I said, listen to this, y'all. About a year ago, I was telling people that we're not divided like y'all think we are. We're not divided. We're not. People say, oh, they're dividing us. No, they're not. See, the fact that the rhetoric was there, the fact that they were trying to do it, let you know how united we were. You guys, I know people say Barack Obama is the reason why we became divided as a nation. Actually, we didn't become divided. What Barack Obama did, he ended up pushing a seed in America's heart that ended up sparked this growth that pretty much tried to attack our unity. See, like I tell people, me and my wife, nothing is coming between me and my wife. Now, if something tried to come between my wife, that does not mean that me and my wife are divided. It means that somebody is trying to divide me and my wife. So when people say, man, we're divided as a nation, look at the results of this election. Look at the results of this election. It was like, if you look at the maps, that was like I'm estimated 85% all red. 85% of America was red. 85% of America was completely red, ladies and gentlemen. We were, and we showed them we are more united than what they thought we were. We were more united than what some of y'all thought. Give me a second here. Make sure this don't fall. We were, and we are way more united than what a lot of people thought we were going to be. We actually completely dismantled. Hold on now. Of course, you were trying to act up now. Where are you going, Cameron? Y'all bear with me here. All right, here we go. Or not. But anyway, what I was saying was we are way more united than what people thought we were. And it showed in that map right there. It showed in our votes. It showed in our enthusiasm. It showed, folks. And I told y'all, look, if any of you that's been following my channel, did I not say this like, I said this like, what, 8 weeks ago? I said, guys, something is not right. I don't care about what people are saying. When they told me, oh, this is going to be a tight race. This is going to be, oh, this is going to be down to the wire. And don't get me wrong, this is what I was telling y'all. All news outlets were pushing this. Fox News pushed it. OAN pushed it. Sky News pushed it. CNN pushed it. MSNBC pushed it. That's what I was telling you when I say whoever is in control of all these outlets, they're only doing what the number one person that's over them. I don't know if George Soros is involved, but all I'm saying, BlackRock, whoever's involved in this was telling them all to say some of the same stuff. So to me, they all play their role, and I don't want us to be fooled by it. They all are playing their role with their so-called information they get now. Don't get me wrong, I like Fox News, I like Newsmax, I like OAN, I like Sky News. I get some stuff from CNN. I don't care, y'all. I'm not one of those people that I'm just getting my information. I'm just looking at only one news network. I'm getting information from all aspects because I want to formulate my own perspective after getting all these angles, right? After all these angles. That's what I want to do. And I love it that you got certain people in here say things like, okay, like Antoine, you said you were totally brainwashed, my dude. Yeah, that's not going to work. Y'all tried it already. That the whole we are all brainwashed, me as a black man brainwashed, you can try that all you want to, it's not gonna work. We just won, plain and simple. Watch what happens. Nothing. Just like 2016 to 2020, what happened? Nothing. Nobody's falling for this. Try it again. It's not gonna work, Antoine. Nice try though. Like I said, the American people are not gonna fall for this. Oh, if Trump get in there, he said day one he's gonna be a dictator. Nobody's falling for that dumb stuff. He did not say that. Trump said, I'm going to be a dictator for one day, and that's to what? That's to what? Start the biggest mass deportation. He didn't say on day one, I'm going to be a dictator. Nobody's falling for that. See there? He did not say that. Here y'all go again. Trump did not say that on day one, he's going to be a dictator. He said, I'm going to be a dictator for one day, which is a complete difference. And y'all fall for that. Y'all fell for that. Somebody was able to implement that into your head and get you to say that. And here y'all are preaching and teaching it like it's truth. It's amazing. Mass deportation sounds like mass violence. And then tell me, okay, I got you. Antoine, tell me this. In my house, if somebody is in my house and I want them out my house, if they're not going to leave my house willingly, how do you think I'm gonna get them out my house? Would y'all please go back to where y'all came from? Can y'all leave my house? No, I'm throwing you out. And if I have to be violent, then so be it. You never should have been here in the first place. Get out. See how that works? It's easy. It's easy. Mass deportation sounds like mass violence. Then so be it. They never should have been here in the first place. How about that? How about that? They never should have been here in the first place. It's called illegal. Anybody that's in here illegal right now, anybody here that's illegal right now, and you put up a resistance to us Americans and our soldiers and our police officers, whoever is going to be Homeland Security, whatever, if you put up a fight, you are going to lose. And if it calls for us to get violence to kick you out, then kick you out and violent we shall be. That's your choice. Like I said, if you're in my house and I tell you it's time to go and you like, I'm not going anywhere, I don't want to go. I'm warning you right now, you can freely go willingly, or I'm going to force you to move. That's it. So who cares? The only way that the only way there's going to be a mass deportation, probably like the likes we've never seen, is because we had a mass infiltration of the likes we've never seen. It's easy math, actually. It's easy math. See, I posted a video earlier. My guy OCD said liberals want to leave America. Not even Palestine wants them. No, they talk all this crap. Anybody that's in here right now, I made a video just a minute ago, and I'm telling you right now, I made a video telling you, none of y'all mean what y'all say. Anybody that's in here complaining about America and how terrible America is, how much you hate America, you don't mean that. You full of crap. There's no way that I would ever be in any place around anybody or do anything that I absolutely hate and remain there. If you hate America so much, then leave. But you're not going to leave. You're just talking crap. So either you can shut up, move on with your life, Take advantage of all the opportunities that America allows us to have, or you can shut up and leave the country. You're not going to leave the country. We know that, right? So you might as well just swallow the pill, shut up, get on with your life, and be prosperous in these opportunities that America allows for you to have. Brother, man, you just don't know. See, man, what they did to us. Dude, shut up. They didn't do nothing to you. There was a mass shooting at Tuskegee, a historically black college. Did you feel the pain of those Negroes that were shot there? Huh? Did you feel the pain of those Negroes that were shot there? No, you did not. Do you even care that those Negroes were shot at a historically black college? No, but you care about, look what they did to our people. Look what they did. Look what we doing to our people. It's some easy math, and I don't even understand how a lot of you Negroes don't seem to understand this. If I tell you, black people, and guys, I know some of y'all in here are, black, whatever, but I'm just trying, and I know some of you guys in here are white, but my focus right now is on some of the brothers and the sisters that may be in here that don't like what I'm saying right now because they don't like getting this verbal spanking. They don't like being disciplined. They don't like being corrected. Let me say something to you right now. Black people, me being in medicine, check this out. You know what they say one of the biggest things is that run amongst black people? High blood pressure runs rampant amongst black people. If you come to me and we run your blood, I do some blood pressure tests on you, and I tell you that your blood pressure is high, what do you say to me? Oh man, what do I need to do to fix it? I will say, you need to watch what you eat. You need to stay away from soda. You need to stay away from iodinized salt, Himalayan salt, kosher salt. That may be decent for you, but in moderation. You need to make sure you uptick your only thing you should be drinking is water. You need to. Now, if I say that to you, will you get pissed off at me for me telling you how to fix you with a problem that you caused? See what I'm saying? So if you can understand that simple logic right there, and I tell you, black people, if I were to tell you that the number one killer of black people are black people, would you get pissed off at me? Oh, there you go. You just been a Uncle Tom. You just, you hate black people. You hate your own kind. Negro, the problem is high blood pressure, which was brought on and caused by you. The problem of black people being killed is by other black people, way more than any other race. But then if we talk about that, you don't want to hear it. See, because all you do, you don't hold other people responsible. No. See, the biggest problem is not other people. The biggest problem is us killing us at astronomical levels. That's the problem. But when it comes to that, you don't want to fix that. The best you can do is, man, you brainwashed. Man, you stupid. Man, you sold out. Man, you're a disgrace. I'm calling out the problem. And until you actually want to take accountability, like, okay, for example, I'm giving you the high blood pressure analogy again. After I told you more water intake, stay away from the sodas, stay away from anything that got high fructose corn syrup. As a matter of fact, the only thing I want you drinking is water. I don't want you to put no high sodium in none of your foods. Do that for me for 3 to 6 months and watch how your health changes. I'm giving you the remedy to fix the issue that you brought on yourself. We are doing this to our own race. And yet when it gets called out, you don't want to accept that. You want to blame somebody else. That's the equivalent of you telling me right now, man, the reason why I got high blood pressure is because they forcing me to eat this food I don't want to eat. The reason I got high blood pressure, man, no, man, I got to drink soda, man. My whole family drank soda, dog. Hey, B, the only reason why, man, I'm not putting that alcohol down, B. Okay, if you're not going to want to change anything, then guess what? You're going to stay a drunk. You're going to stay with high blood pressure. You're going to be on high blood pressure meds for the rest of your life. You're going to end up being on something to have to regulate your insulin for the rest of your life. And you're going to be complaining, man, I can't get healthy. I can't get right. Man, they say I got to get, it's brought on by you. So that's exactly why you hear black people consistently complaining about our circumstances, how we all down, how we can't get this, we can't get that, because Negroes, you brought it on yourself. And when there's anybody that comes and try to correct you and help you with how you can actually get past that, you don't want to hear. You want to know why? You don't want to take accountability for it. You do not want to take accountability that it's you that's the problem. It's you that's causing the issue. It's you that don't want to move. It's you that don't want to get healthy. It's you that don't want to step through the door of opportunity. Nobody is stopping you from doing that. Nobody can stop you from changing your life. You have to stop drinking. You have to stop eating the bad foods. You have to stop drinking soda all the time. You have to stop drinking alcohol. But until you are ready to sit there and actually confess and say to yourself, I'm the problem, there's no sense in me and you talking. Man, Trump is going to what? Trump is going to what? Man, he gonna do what, Negro? What? I mean, I'm waiting on y'all to answer. I'm waiting on you to answer. And before y'all go even, I'll take you even a step further. You do know, Negroes, that this same exact thing exists among white people. You know that, right? You do know that this same thing exists among white people. Yes, it does. The ones that a lot of white people refer to as like trailer trash or white trash, they have the same exact mindset that a lot of you lowly ghetto project hood living Negroes do. And don't worry, I'm not coming down on you or being condescending, because I was once you. Oh yeah, I was once you. So I know that this mindset exists. It's a mindset. And I know I kind of tune things up, y'all. Y'all look, here we go. Trump will make a fool of y'all. You mean like he did in 2016 to 2020 when everybody had money in their pocket, when everybody was doing well, when gas prices was down, when you had the lowest employment among blacks like you've never seen before? Oh, you mean when he had the program, which he's going to be doing that program again, to where if you are a single mother and you're black and you want to go to college, Trump is going to allow for your mom, your cousin, your auntie, or whoever to watch your kids while you go to college for free? Oh, you mean something like that? Yeah, okay. You don't know about that. You want to know why? Who's suppressing that information from you? Other Negroes. The NAACP is not going to tell you about these programs. Rainbow Coalition is not going to tell you about these programs. Black Lives Matter is not going to tell you about these programs. It's going to be implemented in there to make you better, because they would rather keep you in that hole as well, so they can look like they're your savior, so they can look like they're the ones that's helping the black community, so they can look like they're the leaders of the black community. All they're doing is pushing the same rhetoric, keeping you Negroes down, and pastors do the same exact thing too. I know what I'm talking about. That's why I'm a danger. That's why up in Chicago, Brandon Johnson, Kim Fox, them put me on a wall of shame list, to where they actually are asking organizations, don't let this Ty Smith come and speak there. He's a danger to the community. He's a danger to black people. Yeah, right. All because I want folks to get out and do well. I haven't seen a single thing in here right now since I've been talking that y'all can sit there and tell me, I haven't seen a single thing in here right now that anybody can bring up right now that you can tell me what black people can't do right now. I wish I can, if I can bring this up and do a panel thing, I would love to bring anybody up here right now. I wish that this stream, the way it is right now, if I was able to bring this up on StreamYard and bring this up right now, I would gladly bring some of you guys up here to explain to me how my life is about to be worse than what it is. My life is not worse anyway because of things that I do. But if I'm able to bring this up on StreamYard and find some way to get you guys to be able to come in here, I definitely will do it. So y'all, while I'm doing this right now, make sure you guys hit that like button for me if you don't mind. Hit that like button. That way this content can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm, okay? So what I'm getting ready to do right now, I'm gonna go back to this. I'm gonna try to find this this live right now. And while I'm finding this live, hit that like button for me. Hit the like button for me. And I'm gonna try to find a way to where I can bring some of you up, okay? So give me a second. Give me a second. Hit that like button if y'all haven't done it already, okay? I would really appreciate it if you would do that, okay? Hit that like button for me. So let me go ahead and see if I can do this through StreamYard. That way I can bring some people up. I gotta see my friend Mama Donna's in the house. Hit that like button for me, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna try my best to do this. Let's see here. There's my start the virtue camera, get off the net. All right, give me a second here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, let's see. We just had somebody that just dropped the super chat right here. Let me see if I can find you there. We got Jeffrey Counts. Jeffrey Counts with the $5 super chat said, back in 2016, I used to buy 40 items worth of groceries and pay $120. Now I take those same items I'm paying $230 for. Facts. A lot of people are feeling the effects of this, and people want to act like it's really not happening, which I really don't understand that. But again, it is people want to live. I think people are choosing to be completely, they're choosing to be delusional, plain and simple. You're choosing to be delusional. So right now, I'm getting ready right now. Okay, check this out. Check this out. I got a link here right now, and I might throw y'all in on this. Okay, here's the link right now. I'm posting this link. This link right here that I just posted will allow you to click on it, and you can come into the live stream, and we can talk about this. But one thing I'm gonna tell you right now, if you get in here and you become disrespectful, if you get in here and you want to try to start cussing and everything like that, I'm going to immediately drop you down. So you might as well not even come in here and do this, okay? I'm just letting you know right now. Come in here, be respectful. You in my domain, you got freedom of speech and all that. But if you get in here and you start to get disrespectful, I'm shutting it off real quick. I'm shutting it off real quick, just to let you know that. So those of you that are watching right now, let me see if I can get you guys to see this in a different screen as well. That way you guys will be able to tune in if somebody happens to want to come and jump on the set. Oh, so again, guys, hit that thumbs up button for me right now. You said it's not clickable. Hit the 3 dots next to it and see if you can do it. If it's not clickable, I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. Says, I feel sorry for the poor bastards that transition. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. That is horrible. That is horrible, man. Somebody said it works. The like button worked for me. Okay, what I did is I just posted a link, ladies and gentlemen. I just posted a link. And that link that I just posted, it should allow you to click it. You should be able to click the link. Here it is again. Let me pin it. I just pinned it. I just pinned that, so it should be posted right there. Now, if you're not able to do it, I don't know what to tell you. Mama Don, if you're in here, you usually click the link, Mama Don. If you click the link, somebody said mine's is not working. It's there just a delay. That part right there, guys. If I'm sounding like Joe Biden. If that's the case, I don't know why it's not letting you guys. So I got Unifier TV in here right now. What's going on, bro? So Unifier TV, as you can see, the phone right here. I'm live. You know, on the phone, and there's a ton of people in here. But I'm trying to get it to where they can click the link and they can come on. That way we can talk about some things right here. But some people saying they're not able to click that link right there, and it's not letting them get in because I'm wanting some folks in here who's going to jump on. They claim that they're going to, I guess they want to try to prove me wrong about some stuff. So I see that there's a Terry Stewart right there. You don't necessarily have to show your face right now. I mean, you don't have to show your face when I bring you on, but Terry Stewart, you have to show me your face and wave at me or something before I bring you on. But I see you right there. So if you're not going to show your face or anything like that, I'm not about to bring you up. I'm not about to do that. So again, Terry Stewart, if you are in here right now, I see you right there. Unless you show your face and wave at me, I'm not going to bring you up to the stage. If you guys are asking me why, If you guys are asking me why I won't bring somebody up if I don't see their face, because I'm not about to be trolled for one. So you have to show your face and you would have to wave at me. Okay, I see somebody waving right there. Derek Carter is here. So again, folks, I'm letting y'all know right now, you keep it cordial, keep it steady. The minute we get to doing any type of name calling, any stupid, you dumb, you all this, I'm dropping you right back down. Just letting y'all know. So for my folks that are viewing through the phone, I'm getting ready to switch some things around to see if you guys can actually see this from another angle. That way you guys can be included in on this as well. So just hold tight for a second right here, okay? So here we go. About to bring Derek Carter up. Let me make the screen a little bigger for y'all. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Wait, it disappeared. All right, here we go. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yep. So I was kind of listening in the background. I heard you ask the question of what can you do that a white person can't do? Was that the question?
Well, yeah, I was saying, what is it in America right now? If anything that any black person wants to do with their life right now, what is it that they can't do? Now again, that's anything that an individual black person wants to do. What is it that they can't do right now?
There really isn't a lot of things. And I think that it took some time for us to work up to that. That's the reason why we have things like affirmative action and Black Lives Matter, NAACP, things of those natures to combat the overwhelming issues that hit the black community and preventing us from being able to do these things.
In what way? Like are you saying that Black Lives Matter and NAACP are the reason that black people are able to do things? Or I'm kind of lost.
Yep. Well, more so the NAACP, but the Black Lives Matter, what they've been doing as of recent, and I'm not fully on board with them, like fully in support of them, but they do bring a lot of light to things that would have otherwise been overlooked. Like if you look at like the Trayvon Martin situation, George Floyd situation, Alton Sterling, these are certain situations that, well, of course, with George Zimmerman, he got away with it, but some of these cases, they help put a lot of emphasis on it in order to bring justice.
What justice was brought? For example, you mentioned George Floyd, and still to this day, nobody can tell me what George Floyd did for the black community at all, besides being a crook and being a crackhead and things like that. So what did he attribute at all to black people?
He didn't attribute anything.
So,
we were on the subject of Black Lives Matter, and all I was saying was that situations like that, innocent black men would have just gotten killed, and it would have gotten swept under the rug had they not brought it to the light. So these are just examples of situations that back in the day, our ancestors had to deal with. Now there are things that are being, opportunities in different solutions that are being sort of gifted to us as of today.
So now, one thing I can tell you this, I can agree that because all of us have a, most of us all have a camera in our hand to where we can record things, but at the same time, based off of to me, it's situational. George Floyd case, George Floyd, it all came out, and you can go look it up. George Floyd was not killed as a result of that police officer. I know they're not going to release, they're not going to talk about it because it's past and gone. George Floyd died as a release. He died as a result of overdosing on fentanyl. I'm in medicine. George Floyd, if you go back and watch the video, he was hyperventilating. He was going out of his mind. And actually, that's one of the things that fentanyl does. It can sit there and it can increase your heart rate. But if you sit there hyperventilating, trying to offset what the fentanyl is doing, it can cause you to have heart failure. And on top of that, Them talking about the knee being on his neck. You got two things on the side of your neck. You got your carotid artery, your carotid vein on both sides right here. If I sit there and put pressure on this side of my neck, it's not going to stop oxygen from getting to my brain on this side. The only way they can stop that, when you see people get choked, they do like this. But that's just one side. So you can, anybody right now that's watching this, you can go and look it up to see what actually caused George Floyd death, and it is completely what that first coroner said. It was not by asphyxiation by the cop. It was by him having an overdose of the drugs that was in his system. So what I'm saying therefore is that I get that the camera was there, and I'm not in agreement with how the cop did that, but I do want to keep it straight and completely straight up and real that was not the reason that's not what killed George Floyd. Because there's a guy named Tony Tempa that was in Florida, I think, and this is a white man. He got arrested just like George Floyd did. He had knees on his back and on his back of his neck as well. He died, and it didn't get any attention. So then my question is, what happened to his story? What happened to his, what happened to his following? What happened to his?
Was he a white man?
He was a white man.
Does that justify the George Floyd killing?
Nope, no justification at all. And notice again, you said the George Floyd killing. Auberman, I see you in the back there. I'll bring you up here in a sec, sir.
Yep. But I didn't want to waste your time. The only point that I was making is that there were some obstacles that us as Black folks went through, and now we're getting to the point to where a lot of things are sort of changing. Another example that I could give you of that is like, growing up as a Black kid, I've always looked up to superheroes like Batman, Superman. And so I'm starting to see now that they're starting to put more Black characters in different movies and action films and superhero films and stuff. That way the Black kid can grow up with somebody to look up to. The fact that we have a Black president, I know it's a
You think he
thing that's being said, but it's a lot. It does something to the little boy who's seen all of the presidents of the United States who are all white, to finally see a Black president, to be able to look at them and say, that's possible. So, I feel like a lot of opportunities are available as of today that allow us to be able to do some of the same things as white people, but there still is the opportunities can sometimes be like overlooked in the Black community, or they're looked at as not there. I don't know if you can see, I'm a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, my mom forced me to get into this. I would have never gotten into it because I was always, the way I looked at trucking, it was like it was a white man's thing. But it took my mom to force me out the house and get me into this field for me to go off into the world and actually give it a try. And so it's opportunities like this that is offered to us as Black people that pretty much was dominated by majority white people at the time. But now things like that are starting to open up for us.
Well, see, I get what you're saying, but here's the deal. There's a piece of history that they like to keep from school systems, period. And this actually can be a detriment to Black people and white people. The late 1800s, Black people increased in hundredfolds in becoming physicians, becoming pharmacists, becoming teachers, becoming lawyers, becoming business owners. Nobody likes to talk about that era. They skip over it. And now this was during a time where it was legal to be racist against Black people, where it was legal to discriminate against Black people. Yet at the same time, we increased hundredfold. And I'm not talking about Wall Street, Black Wall Street. We were all over doing big and great things. So what I'm saying that for is, how is it that we were doing that then when it was legal to be discriminative, when there was segregation? How were we able to do it then in hundredfolds? And yet here in 2024, we're talking like this is just now starting to happen. Like we just now starting to.
Well, we had to. We had to be our own mechanics because there was no white car shop that was going to fix our cars. We had to cook our own foods because we couldn't eat at certain restaurants. We have to be self-sufficient, and also even though we were there are some pros to that, the con is that there was always a lack of. So why do you think Black people were all on board or like happy to see Ruby Bridges, the first Black person to go to an all-white school? Why do you think that we were all in support of that? It's because we had a lack of education in our communities.
Really?
So to us,
Wait, time out. Are you talking about, so you talking about Ruby, that was during the civil rights movement, right?
yes.
Now, I just told you, post-slavery, we increased with being these doctors, CEOs, I mean, business owners, all this. So this was before the civil rights movement. So Black people didn't care. We were doing our thing. So I'm trying to figure out what significance was that this Black girl went to an all-white school. What significance did that do for us?
So that it was a lot of racism at the time.
But it seemed like we didn't care.
You still have places like Rosewood. Well, yeah, we were self-sufficient, but you still have to worry about the white people burning your shit down.
Okay.
Black Wall Street, you just mentioned that. Same thing. Tulsa, Oklahoma, same thing. A lot of our biggest, most prosperous Black communities were, there was a lot of racial tension, a lot of race wars happening at the time. And we weren't prepared.
Right. So now my thing is, though,
even though we were doing, very good as far as like being self-sufficient and all these things, I mean, does it really mean anything if you gotta watch your back because of the Ku Klux Klan chasing you up the street?
Right. I get what you're saying, but at the same time, that was then. That's not now. We are nowhere near that. There ain't nobody's getting lynched. No KKK is going after nobody and talking about, get over here, boy, we gonna get you now. That's not even happened. Like I'm 42 years old, and in Chicago, Illinois, and Central Illinois, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, I have not seen none of this stuff ever. So my thing is, why would I dictate my future based off of something that happened to our so-called ancestors when right now we got brothers up here in Chicago probably going to get killed tonight?
You should do that because there are things to be learned in the past. I'm not saying you should hold on to that forever, but the past can sometimes repeat itself. January 6th, to me, when they stormed the Capitol, that was for me, a huge drawback. Like, it made me look at America a lot different. I'm seeing a lot of organizations like the Aryan Brotherhood, different racist organizations.
You actually are seeing and experiencing this, or you hearing about it on YouTube in the virtual reality world?
Well, in Michigan, we have a lot of, of course, it's a battleground state. So I'm from Detroit. We do often come across, in Battle Creek and Muskegon, different people who represent that. You'll see the Thunderbolts, you'll see the swastikas and stuff like that. That's why I always say, like, I know you're a Trump supporter. I'm not for sure how you feel about the Confederate flag, but I believe both of those things mean a totally different thing to certain white people. You may look at the Trump as, something that represents making America great again. They may look at it as making America white again. I mean, have you seen the interview with Jared Taylor, where he said in the interview that he voted for Trump because he's white. He voted for Trump because he wants to make America white again.
Right. But see, the thing is, though, I get what you're saying. But honestly, I mean, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. Who cares? I don't care if a white supremacist voted for Trump. I don't care who voted. I don't care. It's not going to do anything. We know that we will never get to that again. There will never be slavery. There will never be a huge race war like people think is going to happen. It will never happen. That's just all propaganda. It will never, ever happen again. We won't have any of that. So if it's not going to happen, why are we still talking about it? Why is that still even an issue? These things are not going to ever happen in our country ever again.
You believe it's not going to happen. See, let me tell you this, and then I'll let you have the floor. We can build.
Yeah, I'll let my guy get in.
Like there's been a lot of fuss about the immigrants. and stuff. And I have a belief towards that too, which I believe that us as Americans are extremely lazy, especially with black folks. Like as of late, you could go to McDonald's and they'll get your order wrong, and then they'll get mad at you when you say, "Hey, you forgot my nuggets." So all of this laziness that's going on now, and these hungry immigrants are coming over and they're outworking the whites, the blacks, and all the people that have been in America for years, outworking them all. How do you think that the poor whites are going to react to that? Like, how do you think they're going to react to that type of stuff? I brought up January 6th, and it's like you kind of swept it under the rug like it wasn't nothing. So I'm just curious to know, like, you really don't believe that a race war or some type of uprising, it doesn't even have to be a race war. Like, this could be just an uprising of just people who just had enough.
No. So January 6th, when you said about the whole race war, those were a bunch of white people getting ready to go and attack a bunch of white people. And besides the cops who said, "Oh, they called me the N-word," whatever like that. Did you see a whole thing? I mean, who were they going after? What did they do when they got inside the Capitol? Since there's some, and if that was an insurrection, nobody had any guns or nothing at all, but that was an insurrection.
I believe that some of those people there had intentions on trying to overthrow the government. In my personal opinion, did it work? Hell no.
Because they weren't trying to overthrow the government.
It didn't work. It didn't work, but I believe that for some of them, like it came from left field. You know, it wasn't thought out really. So they kind of, attempted at it, but like imagine that being pre-planned, and imagine something like that being like, okay, if Trump does this or if they, like, I feel like if Trump didn't win this time around, I believe that for sure would have been some type of uprising. I believe so. If Kamala Harris would have won, I believe that there would have been something that happened. White people want to just let that happen. Because I honestly believe that the elections was rigged in the first place. But you have certain people out there who are just not going to let that fly.
All right, I hear you. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let Mr. If I say your name wrong, Oberman, I'll let you go in and add something to this. What you got, sir? Give me 1 second. Your mic is muted. There we go.
You can call me Brad. That's just that's my original email. As far as January 6th goes, what I think happened, man, I think a lot of Americans really thought that election got stolen, and I think people are thinking it even more now because there is almost 20 million votes.
Give me 1 second here. I'm sorry to cut you off. Somebody got their somebody might have their speakers or something on too loud because we getting some feedback. Like that.
Hold on, let me walk in the house. It may be because I'm sitting in the garage.
Oh, you sound better now though. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Because now I can't hear myself. I think Mr. My guy up there, Mr. Derek, it was him. So you good, okay. Brad, you good.
Well, what I think a lot of people were thinking on January 6th, there was really a lot of Americans that really thought that the election got stolen. I think even more so now because there's almost 20 million votes that the left had in 2020 that just disappeared. I mean, where did all those votes go? And if people were to uprise against the government, that's happened in our history before. It's called revolution, and rising up against the tyrannical government, throwing them out and starting all over again.
You can't be talking about that Constitution. There's no way you could be talking about something we're supposed to be abiding by, right?
Yes, sir.
So, see, that's what I'm saying. And honestly, whenever, based off of history, if anything that America was going to do, there is no way that Americans were going to do it hands-free. So that's why I say, if we look at it for what it was, that was not an insurrection. It became an insurrection because media outlets repeated it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So we said that's what it was. And when you said they stormed the Capitol, my question is this: what would happen if somebody said, "Hey, they broke into my house," and then you say, "Well, what happened? Let me look at your house," and nothing is out of place. Well, you said they broke in, right? Yeah, they broke in. Well, what did they do? They got in here and walked around. Now, would you call that? I mean, you might call that breaking and entry, but you can't call that a robbery. You know what I mean? You could call it trespassing, but
Right.
so that's what I'm getting at. And I know that, and then here's the thing too: there were feds that were there. We know this for a fact. The feds were there. They actually was amping the crowd up. They were trying to unify. I see you in the background, my brother. I'll bring you up. There were feds in the background. There were people amping up the crowd. They were actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Assaulting the crowd. They were tempting them to do things, and some of them fell for it. Now, I tell people all the time, I completely understand for some of the people that were grown-ups there, that had to be idiotic to sit there and was breaking windows and doing things like that as grown-ups. I get that. I completely understand that. But for the ones that we can see on video right now, thousands of hours of video of those people being let in, and when they got in there, the police was talking to them, waving at them, and they walked around. So where was the real insurrection and all the lies about, oh, such and such life was in danger? Those people seemed like they wasn't going to no doors and trying to kick them down or nothing like that.
Yeah, and part of it got suppressed too, because if you go back and look, Trump offered the National Guard to Nancy Pelosi because he thought that there was going to be a problem that day, and she said, "No, no, no." Next thing you know, they were running out the building like a bunch of scared little kids.
Yeah. Yep. Unifier TV, what's going on, my brother?
Not much. Can you hear me?
What's going on? I can hear you really well, man. Man, first time on here. This is a buddy of mine, everybody. Those of you that are in here right now, Unifier TV has his own YouTube channel and Instagram, so make sure you guys go over there and check him out. He has his head on straight. He talks about a lot of the things that I talk about. He actually posts probably more so than I do. So make sure y'all go check out Unifier TV, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate
For
that.
sure, man.
It means a lot coming from you, man.
Absolutely, man.
For quite a while. But no, man, like a lot of people are in fear right now because of what's been going around, what they might try to pull before the inauguration, during the inauguration. Like no one knew what the word insurrection was until the news started throwing it around. Now you got regular people trying to use that word, and you don't even really know what that means. And so a lot of people are in fear right now. A lot of people on the right that I know personally are worried about what tactic they're going to try to pull next. But we can't live in fear of that. We got to know that God's in control, and I believe that God wants Trump in office, and that's what's going to happen, no matter what they try to do. So they may try to do that insurrection thing. They may try to bring up all these other things. They're not. The game is not going to stop. So that means we can't stop. And yes, we got the House, we got the White House, we got the Senate, we got it all right now. But we can't take our foot off the gas because the same power and force that we came forth to get him reelected, we got to keep it going because the games aren't going to, like I said, the impeachment attempts are going to come. Unfortunately, the assassination attempts are still going to come. The devil is still going to do his thing. And so the more faith we put forth, the more we pray over him and over the country, the more we're going to continue to have these victories. But we can't stop now. We got to keep going.
I agree.
That's 100.
The older I get and the closer I get to God, the more I notice stuff like I come from a predominantly left-leaning family. Like Obama's first term, I voted for him, and then during that first term, I started seeing a lot of weird stuff happening, and then I started scratching my head, and I'm like, man, what's really going on? And I see a lot of pandering from the left. For instance, you know where Kamala said she was gonna make cannabis legal, right? Well, I'm in the cannabis industry. That's what I do. I retired from being an electrician after 23 and a half years, and she's talking about legalizing it all the way across the board so black men can have a business and get into that industry, which was a lie, because it's already federally legal in all 50 states through the 2018 Farm Bill without all the red tape. If he was going to do it like she was talking about, you would have literally had to been a millionaire to come into the industry.
Yep.
So I don't get it, man. I really don't.
Yeah, and you know, I think the whole thing though, man, like right now is that, I mean, based off of what we just saw in the United States, the fact I keep telling even my own mentees, even the ones that disagree with me, I tell them go and look on at that map. And although you might see the Illinois is blue, California, click on it and see how freaking red it's lit up. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the places that I grew up at, Decatur, Illinois, I was blown out of my mind that we call it, Decatur, Illinois is referred to as baby Chicago. It's lit up red. I was shocked out of my mind. And that just shows me that looking at that whole map overall, 80+% of all of the United States of America right now is red. You got Native Americans that voted overwhelmingly 65% for Trump. You got Latinos voted like 50 to 60%. And even though it may not seem like it, even blacks, we went from being 12% to 25+%. So something happened, man. I'm telling you, a lot of us, I think we've been so used to what we've been told all of our lives in the black community, come growing up in the hood and stuff. We can't even see that we've been completely deceived by it, because everything else, it looked like for example, we were trained and we were told how white people were. They were this, they were like that, they always this. That whenever I went into a grocery store, a white person looked at me, I'm automatically going, man, what they looking at me for? I'm not even gonna steal anything. What y'all staring at me? These white people probably just looked at me because like they looked at any other child. But the thing is, I was taught to perceive that if they made eye contact with me and they looked at me, they must think that I'm trying to steal. They must think that I'm trying to do something. So how did that get added into my mind? It was taught to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying that for is that we are being taught right now as black people, we are being taught. You've been told to be pissed off about what happened during slavery. You've been told to be pissed off about that, because it's amazing that, again, if I sit there and present to you today, what is the biggest threat to black people? What's harming us the most? And I say it's us. How do we flip it and try to say, no, man, but what those white people did whenever? No, we're not talking about what they did. What about what they're doing now? Is any white people going out lynching black people? Or any of them going out on horses and trying to hang black people and pour tar on? It's not going on. So then the question comes down to it. What are you pissed off at, and what's keeping you from moving on and doing what you want to do with your life right now?
You bring up an amazing point, because me and some of my closest friends, I grew up poor. I grew up in the hood.
No, you didn't. You white. That didn't happen to you. You had privilege.
I'm in Huntsville, Alabama. And the crazy thing is there's so many stereotypes all across the country as far as like, certain places that you live. But white folks, black folks were all raised the same here. I can remember when I was a teenager back in the 90s, man, everybody was everybody, and nobody was talking about race or nothing back then. It's only been like here in the past few years, it seems like it's come back and it's become a thing again. I mean, I'm 45 years old, and this is the most I've seen anybody talk about racism in my whole entire life.
Can I say something real quick? Or am I muted?
Who are we talking? Who's talking right now? Raise your hand.
Ray?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Okay, Ray, go ahead.
I just had a couple of points to make. One, Kamala Harris won every state that did not have voter ID laws and lost every state that did have voter ID laws. I'm sure it's a coincidence, though.
So all black people must live in those states, though, right? Because, black people don't know how to get their IDs and don't know how to get licenses and stuff, so...
Supposedly, but I haven't won like that yet, so I don't know how much I believe it. I think it's more about illegal immigration and dead people's ballots and that kind of stuff. The other point I wanted to make is the media complex. If you go back in time and you remember when when Trump won the election the first time, Hillary Clinton got caught reading the primary in her own emails on WikiLeaks, the Podesta files. Somehow that transferred into Russians helping Trump, and then was turned into the Russiagate impeachment over the next 2 years. And now going back in time, we know Michael Sussman, Hillary Clinton's lawyer, fabricated all of the evidence that led to Russiagate. It was all based on fake evidence from the Democrat Party. And when you talk about the racial division and that kind of stuff, I know it's uncouth, but I can't help but think of Kanye and what he was saying about the media. And when you think about like Trump being labeled a racist, and the Democrats run every single inner city ghetto in the country. that's not Republicans. And when you think about like Trump's history helping Nelson Mandela, Jesse Jackson run for president, like he's done a lot of stuff personally as for black people before he ever ran for president. And it was just instantly not just erased, but somehow they managed to twist it like he's in the KKK or something. So I think the power of the media is really kind of terrifying, and what's responsible for all of the division in our country, because you're not a black American, you're an American.
Period.
You know, we're all just Americans. This idea of putting this prefix before it just makes people less than, and it's not fair.
Yeah, he's right. But they got Biden on video at the Grand Wizard's eulogy of the KKK talking about he was this hero and shit.
See, that's the thing I like to throw in there a lot of times, because I know a lot of people, especially amongst us, I do this all the time when I go talk to the black community. People, this is what gets me. Okay, and it's not to throw no shade. Somebody would say, hey, white supremacist or even a known white supremacist, he supports Donald Trump. Donald Trump gets up there, I denounce every last one of them. I denounce the KK. Trump said, I don't care if you support me. I'm denouncing you. But yet you got Joe Biden who's doing a eulogy. And then you got Hillary Clinton saying that one of her greatest mentor was Margaret Sanger, the one who said, I want these niggas eliminated. I'm like, wait a minute. But yet, because Hillary Clinton would throw you a booty shaking concert or something like that, and she got her bottle of hot sauce in her purse, then, black, we good with that though. See what I'm saying?
Do you remember the whole
so much for the KKK funeral thing, because I think that was a politician. What I do judge Biden a lot more for is when he went on Charlemagne the God and said, you aren't black unless you do what I said.
Yeah, he pretty much he said
crazy to me.
Yeah, he said and here's the thing. This is why I want people. That's why I say I really do pay attention to words. President Biden said, if you don't know if you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. So that means he was talking to white people, he was talking to black people, whoever, even independents. If you didn't even know who you were going to vote for yet, he said, if you don't know if you for me or Trump, then you ain't black. So I mean,
yes, wild. And I don't mean to sound graphic, but I know y'all seen that black model back in the day that Trump was with. Now, who you think done had more black women, Trump or Biden?
He was just usurping his massive complex on her. He slaved that woman. Now she didn't freely do that.
Right.
How y'all doing, gentlemen?
Maybe he can teach me the way.
Let me get Mr. Donnie Adair in here. You've been waiting patiently. I'll get you in here, Mr. Donnie.
All right. So I've been listening to everything that's being said, right? So I'm from Louisiana. I'm a business owner. My mom's white, my dad is black. Let me cut this light back on. So my mom's white, my dad is black, right? So I grew up in the South, predominantly South. And we can speak facts and speak statistics right now. Louisiana and Mississippi fight for last place for education every year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana has never been a Democratic state, right? We might elect a Democrat governor, but most Democrats from Louisiana are called blue dog Democrats, right? Because they do lean more to the right than the normal Democrat, right? So I'm a independent. There's things that the Republicans say that I agree with. The transgender rights, I feel like the Democrats is putting too much in on that one community to help them versus the country. I do believe that whatever we are born as, that's what we are. Chromosomes don't lie. But I also feel the thing of the abortion rights. I don't feel that it should be any government speaker, government employees say on what can happen with a woman's body. And I have daughters. I have 5 girls that live in my house right now. So just to give a perspective of all the girls are in college, right? My wife got pregnant. The baby was stuck in her tubes. Well, under the abortion laws in some of these states that they're trying to pass or that have passed, it's illegal for her to get an abortion, right? But if my wife didn't abort that baby, she dies.
Well, check this out. I get what you're saying, but you got me that's in medicine with med school and everything, right? Been in this thing for a while. So one thing you have to do, you have to treat the patient. And if your wife, whoever it may be, despite what they say, if she came in and they saw that there was a tube of pregnancy and that actually was going to be a risk to her life, nobody would deny her that. Like
So,
they just
not to
they.
cut you off,
Mhm.
you do know that there recently, within the last 2 weeks, they had a woman, a young girl die because doctors didn't want to treat her. So I'm not saying that people don't fall through the cracks, and I'm not saying that everything is perfect, right? Because none of these systems are perfect. I'm a truck driver.
Uh-huh.
I own my own trucks, everything. The issue is they're always throwing the issue as a white and black issue. It isn't white or black, right? I was born in poverty. I'm no longer in poverty. But the difference is I still go back to my community. So how the Democrats has a stronghold in the black community is for the simple fact of this election cycle, I didn't see one Republican from Louisiana representatives in my my community, where I go back to every day. Now, one of them came down there to see what the issues is. The difference is, but what I do see in that community is police constantly rolling around, right? So whenever we're looking at it as a whole, if cops are only patrolling in one neighborhood and they say, man, the crime rate is high in this area. Well, crime is high in every neighborhood have some form of crime. But the issue falls is, where is it getting policed the most, right? So drinking and driving in Louisiana is check out insurance. You know, you could do the numbers on insurance. Insurance is sky high because you have a lot of accidents. You have a high rate of drinking and driving in Louisiana. But the problem is, if we're only looking for crime in one neighborhood, well, of course, we're only going to predominantly find crime in that neighborhood. So, and it goes the same as, well, they're like black on black crime is high. Correct, it is. But white on white crime is also high.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but then whenever we get into statistics and we're talking numbers, right? Blacks only make up, what, 30 to 33% of the United States population?
No, like 12 to 13%.
Yeah.
So it's even lower, right? But no, well, I guess I worded that wrong. The crime rates, right, making up for so much of the crime to be so low as a capital, like as a race of people in the United States. So the numbers are high. So those numbers are high. But the problem is, it isn't white or black. It's impoverished versus the rich, man. That's where the problem is. And it's how the impoverished neighborhoods are being policed versus everywhere else, right? So I was recently in Florida for both of the storms. I was out there 30 days doing work out there for them, right? There's sections of the town, the lower income section of the town, you might see 4 or 5 police officers, right? I seen countless families, and it wasn't just black, it's white and black, Hispanic, every race of impoverished people needing help. But because we were on a federal contract, I couldn't just give, I was hauling fuel, so I can't just give everybody fuel. I only can give these federal employees fuel. But whenever I went to the rich side of town, when I got moved to the rich side of town, when I tell you it's night and day, it's helped everybody. And that's where the issue falls at. There's nobody's fighting for the little man no more. The working class, the actual working class. The working class, middle class is considered in Louisiana, I think it's something like 50,000. You consider middle class. Man, 50,000 in Louisiana, you're still living check to check, man.
Yeah, especially this day and age.
That's no money, right? So inflation happens. But one thing that we have to look at when it comes to the president is the debt ceiling, right? The amount of debt that we incur. Under Trump, he doubled it. These are facts, right? We can't man lie, women lie. Numbers don't lie. He did double the debt. Under Biden, inflation is higher, but the debt is going down. So so in turn, if we go back to doing what Trump was doing under his first term, now mind he had COVID happen under his first term, he was capped off on what he could do. But the problem is, we as a people have to talk about the real things that's going on in our communities to help our people. Because see, the spreading of information, he talked about Trayvon Martin earlier. As a black man, and I'm walking from the store to my house with a drink and some Skittles. If a man is following me, telling me to stop, George Zimmerman played self-defense. Well, why isn't it so Trayvon Martin didn't have the right to defend himself with a man stopping him that is armed? And the 911 dispatcher tells him, do not follow him. And the first thing Fox News does is goes out and they start bringing up his Facebook, his Instagram, but that is all irrelevant to what just happened. And the same thing with George Floyd. No, George Floyd might have been a drug head, and he might have done a lot of things while he was on drugs. But the problem, the what made him the martyr is because what happens in Black communities every day actually got put on video and put out there. So it isn't him, George Floyd, as the great man and the great achievements that he did. It's what happened to him and how he became the martyr. It's because it's online. Now, mind, look, the same thing happened to whites, Blacks, Mexicans all over the United States right now as we speak. So it's no race is immune to it. Everybody gets it, but it's just a message, right? All the news stations have their own agenda that they're pushing across. They're turning it to a white and Black issue when it's really impoverished versus the rich issue. And that's where the disconnect to the people are.
I agree.
You know, I'm going to just be honest with you. So like I said, I'm an independent. I don't believe transgender should be, I don't want a transgender man in the bathroom with my daughters. I don't believe that if you was once a man, you should not be in the same bathroom with my daughter. 100% agree with the Republicans on that. But there are definitely systems. You take Social Security. Trump said he didn't want to. He said he wasn't going to cut Social Security. But then I have grandparents that lives off Social Security, and they attempted to try to cut Social Security.
Who is they?
The Republican Party.
Right. So if they tried to cut it, was there a reason behind it?
The reason behind it?
Yeah.
Well, to move the money around because they're saying that it's going down, correct? And it is.
So no, I guess what I'm getting at is that whenever you said they cut their Social Security, it did.
No, they tried.
Right, but even when they tried, was there a letter that explaining why that their Social Security may get cut? Because I get patients all the time to get a letter similar to that, and it's a outlier to it. So that's why I'm asking. Not saying that they was wrong or they didn't. I was just wondering if there was something in the wording.
I can't give you the specifics. I don't want to lie to you and give you just make up something. But what I can say is I remember when it was going on, whenever the Republicans they were trying to pass legislation to cut Social Security.
Biden's
I'm not on Social Security right now.
Social Security spending to 50% of what it is.
Well, but the issue
because your purchasing power is half of what it was before Biden.
But do you understand why Social Security is failing right now?
Yeah, the program's been robbed left, right, and center for decades.
But so how much money from Social Security goes into the defense?
I don't even think it's as much into defense these days. 40%. Defense was used for the 40%. Iraq war, but the Social Security spending for defense is like a one-time pull. It's not perpetual. So they did pull like $1 trillion or $2 trillion out of it for
correct.
The Gulf War. Correct. Under Bush Jr. I remember that.
Correct.
But as far as the real problem with Social Security is
you cut out, you froze.
Yeah, froze up.
Yeah,
was working part-time.
Wait, say that again?
Kids don't work full-time jobs like they used to. So their Social Security pulling isn't the same as if they had a full-time job. The vast majority of the younger generation works multiple part-time jobs or in the gig economy, which doesn't
pretty much pull Social Security. Give me 1 second, guys. American man, you would have to show yourself and wave at me in order for me to bring you up, because I don't know if you were a troll or anything like that. So until you actually turn your camera on and wave at me, I cannot bring you up, American man. Okay, continue, fellas.
Yeah. So look, I just want to make the point of, look, I agree. Like there are things that y'all saying that I 100% agree with. Like, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm just.
I got what you were saying about education too. I thought that you had some valid points there, but I think it's also important to point out that education is directly funded by the income of the local community. So a rich neighborhood will always have better schools than a poor neighborhood. And the second highest funded school district in the United States is the Baltimore public school system. And it is the worst public school system in the United States.
Correct.
Yeah.
So money isn't going to solve all problems. You have to have, I think, community involvement.
Big time.
Well, the thing, I agree with that. You definitely have to have community involvement. But the thing is, in Louisiana, in a state of Louisiana, where we produce a third of the United States oil, every year in the budget, they cutting education. So it isn't just a community thing, right? It's representatives, the people that are in elective office that are cutting the education system. So
Who's voting them in?
So that was going to be to my next point. Great opportunity to say that, because look, the problem is I can fault my own community for not getting out there and voting, right?
That's what I wanted to hear right there. That was my whole message from the beginning, that we not holding each other accountable for it. Somebody else's fault.
We can really look at it for what it is, man. You can take the election results, right? You know, you could take all the percentage of the votes from black people, but as you just said, 12% of the United States is made up of black people. How much of that percentage actually went out there and voted? Martin Luther King died for us to have that right. I was also a Malcolm X fan. So we all have, our community has a long strides to go. But to sit here and say, hey, systematic discrimination isn't real or isn't still happening, that would be false. And we can't sit here and play like we don't know that these things are still real in America. I work in the oil field, right? My life is based off of the oil field. I did very well working in the oil field. Ultimately, did so well to where I could start my own business. And we're still currently working the oil field. So under Bush, under Obama, did great, phenomenal as a truck driver. Under Trump, Biden, horrible, both of them. Now, the only good thing that Trump has going for him is that he has J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance comes from a family of truck drivers. So technically, would he be the better choice for me? Correct, he would be. But some of the abortion rights, I just feel like, look, the government shouldn't be stepping in. At a certain point, there's too much government in the people's lives.
No, I have to.
Wait, one sec. Let me say something real quick here. So this is what I mean. There's a lot of stuff to unpack there in what you just said. I'm gonna let some other people on here
definitely
jump in on it as well. But I'm telling you this just from experience. I know a lot of people say these. In order for you to be in this field, we have a thing that we do called the Hippocratic Oath, where we can do no harm. If a woman comes in with a tubal pregnancy and it's going to kill her, it's not rather a matter of, oh, they forcing her to do. No. That woman is going to die, and they're gonna have to take it out, right? They have to. Now, the story you mentioned about the young girl who died as a result of it, I know all about their story. And actually, what happened? She actually did have an abortion, but pieces of the fetus were still left in her. She went to the hospital, and when she was waiting to go there, she waited too late to go when she was having these crazy symptoms. When she got there, she wasn't actually expressing to them that she had already had a prior abortion, so she became septic and she died. She didn't die as a result of them refusing to treat her. She died because it was too late by the time they got to her to figure out what was going on with her, because she got it done somewhere else. So like in medicine, when somebody comes to see me or something like that,
she went to, if I'm not mistaken, not to cut you off, did she go out of state to get the procedure
so that's
done?
What I'm saying. So what happens is that if you go and you see your physician might say, okay, what are you here for? I got this pain going on. What happened? Well, I was in such and such. Well, I need to call and get the records to see what happened and what they did there in order for me to even do anything to you. But even before they can even get that action even going, she had become so septic that she died as a result of that. So that's why I say a lot of things a lot of people don't know. I know we get told a lot of things, we hear a lot of things, but until you actually get into the details of the matter of what happened, people can just roll with that story, because Kamala Harris was pushing the same exact thing. Tim Walz did as well, and they both lied about that.
Oh, come on, internet.
That's not what happened there. That's not what happened there.
I fundamentally agree that Kamala Harris should not have been the Democratic nominee.
Now, the thing is though, is that what I want us to do though most of the time is get to the main truth of the matter, because if we just throw out a topic without actually throwing in the details within that topic, it's just going to be a talking point that people can just roll with and say, this is what's going on, this is what happened. So, but let me get, I think my guy Unifier I'm going to go Unifier, then I'm going to go Auberman, then I'm going to go American Man, then Ray Boston.
So my thing is, like, with the systemic issues, okay, there's always going to be that, because it's on all sides. There are black people that are racist or have issues with other races. There are people within every demographic that has a problem with another demographic, whether it's justified or unjustified. But the problem is when you dwell on it, because you could sell yourself short or cut yourself out of opportunities or certain achievements because you're worried about what the other person thinks about you, or if they don't want you to have it. One of the things I think about the most, there was a quote in the movie, whatever that movie was, with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Robert De Niro, where they were both in the Navy. And Cuba Gooding Jr. pushed real hard to achieve these goals. And he asked him, why do you want it so bad? He said, because they told me I couldn't have it. And that's one of those things. The biggest slap in the face to those people that you think see you in a certain way as a black person, and they don't want you to achieve a certain goal. If you really think they see you that way, and they very well might, because racism is out there, but it's everybody. There's everybody of every demographic that has a problem with someone of another demographic. There's people out there. But the biggest slap in the face to those people is if you get what you say they don't want you to have, in spite of them trying to stop you from getting it. So instead of cutting yourself out saying, oh, it's systemic, they hate me because this and that, go get it anyway. Because if you really think that you're at a deficit, show them up by getting it anyway. But my other issue is people want to bring up all these different things about Trump and this and that. The way I look at it, Trump is still a human being. Do I believe that God wants Trump in office? I'm always going to believe that. But the thing is, he's still a flawed human being, just like the rest of us are. Because the ones who still voted for him, that got this man reelected, if you were to poll them right now, if every one of them would have come on this live and name something that he said or did over these past 4 years that they didn't like, everybody would have something to say. He's still a flawed human being. Do I trust his plans for this country? I 1,000% do. But are there going to be some things that he does that may not work? It may not work. Scratch it off, try it again. Or it doesn't work the way he thought it would. Or it may not work perfectly for everybody. The fact is, overall, this man is going to get this country to the point where we can afford things again, where we can live better, where we can be more prosperous. Some people, unfortunately, may not benefit the same way. But it's just like football. You try this play, it doesn't go the way you thought, so you only get a couple yards out of that. So now in the next play, you got to push for more yards. Sometimes you go for it on fourth down and you don't get it. But at the end of the day, if you kick the field goal and win the game, nobody thinks about those other plays that didn't work anymore. So I think at the end of the day, Trump is the one that we need, not the one that we just want. He's the one that we need in office because he has the plan to get us where we need to be. And I do feel bad for some of the people that had issues with Social Security. But like Ty said, there are different reasons for that. And I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about it, so I'm not going to speak on it a lot. But there are reasons for that. So hopefully we can get everybody to the point of prosperity that we can be. Because unfortunately now, the common thing is for everybody to be working more than one job. And it wasn't like that just a few years ago. It was not like that. I worked 2 jobs. One job I work 7 days a week. The other one I work 4 days a week. So there are no days off for me. Man. I average about 2 to 3 hours of sleep a day. Am I sitting here complaining? No, but my family is fed and they got somewhere to live. Man. But it wasn't like this a few years ago. And so I believe Trump is for the working class. You know what I'm saying? For Kamala to come out of her mouth and talk about price gouging is the reason why we're paying so much for eggs. This woman does not have a good grasp on economics. It's not price gouging. They have to pay more to get it, so we got to pay more to get it. It's simple. So I don't trust her with my wallet in her hands. So this man is going to get us to where we need to be. Is it going to be perfect? No. Even as conservatives and people who voted him in, he's still going to say stuff that we don't agree with. Mm-hmm. He's still going to do stuff that we don't agree with. That's life. We trust people in and out of our lives every day who have caused bigger infractions than this man. So we just have to trust God first. It don't matter who's in office. If we put our trust in God, we're going to be all right anyway.
That's, man.
Amen to that. Man, I have to say, like, I kind of disagree with one of the points because my career at the time, before I retired and went into business for myself, I was doing better under Trump than under anybody. Now, my 24 years as an electrician, just those few years he was in office, I seen pay rates for all construction workers all the way across the board go up 20 to 25%. And people were finally starting to get paid what they were supposed to get paid. Now, to the truck drivers, my best friend is a truck driver. Trump was talking about in his second term, if he would have got in there the very next time, truck drivers ain't had a raise since the 1980s. I can agree, truck drivers are not getting paid enough money because they what makes our economy go, what makes this country go around. Mm-hmm. And I really believe he would have got something done with that too if the election hadn't got, pulled out from under his feet at the time. And I agree with my man over here to the right of me. We got to trust God that we're going to go in the right direction. And I believe if all of us looked to God and started putting God back in everybody's homes, our kids and everybody, everything would get better for everybody. And we wouldn't even be talking about some of the topics that they try to fearmonger us with. And then the Board of Education getting shut down, giving it back to the states. That's a good thing too, because they're literally teaching our kids to hate each other.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but we can't whitewash history though. Slavery happened in America. As the guy before the first gentleman that he brought up, he also brought up clues of Redwood, talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma. These things happened in America when black people were prospering. And every time black people did prosper, it was another race to come in and destroy it.
You know what's
That
sad?
are the facts.
Can I?
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say there was a couple things, but I'd like to focus more on hope than slavery's been over for hundreds of years. Yeah, Tulsa, a lot of bad things did happen. There's more slaves today in the Middle East than there was in the entire history of the United States. That's a fact. Like, slavery is real, but I never owned a slave. There's no one alive that did. There's no American alive that was one.
But
At
people are
some point,
benefiting
we have
from
to move on. And this victimhood mentality, I think, is used to keep people down. One of the main problems Trump had when he was first office was nobody would reach out to him. And if they did, they got a lot of hate.
You keep cutting in and out. So I wanted to throw in here as well is this. If one of the things that I cannot for the life of me get why we like to do this, how can you live or even try to claim and react as if you experienced something that never happened to you? This see what I'm saying? So right now, if that's the case, every time a black person dies in America, should I get like, oh man, pissed off and man, look what they like up here in Chicago. There's gonna be something to die tonight. Do I react to that as if, look what they just did to them young boys over there. Look what we doing to see why we don't get that same. But here's my thing.
But you should though.
No, but the thing, the reality is we don't. So what I'm getting at is this. Why is it that when they bring this particular matter up with slavery, black people are the main ones that get pissed? But as soon as you sit there and say, you do know down the South that more black people down the South, is proven through statistics, more black people own slaves than what the white people did. But we don't want to hear that. Why is it that when we talk about slavery, when we talk about slavery,
that is not true,
when slavery, wait, hold on, I'll bring it out. Let me get my book. When slavery ended, guess who slavery was not pertaining to when it ended? The Indians. But we got no smoke for the Indians. It wasn't pertaining to them. The Indians were still able to have slaves in the South, period. Indians own white slaves. Indians own black slaves. Black people only own black slaves. White people own black slaves, and white people own some Indian slaves. Nobody talks about that. For some odd reason, you can tell that we all kind of been indoctrinated at a young age. And the reason I say that is this. If I was to say to anybody, I do this with my mentees, I say, guys, tell me about slavery. Oh man, they had us. They always say us, us, us. So how is it that whenever you think about slavery, the only thing that formulates in your mind is what happened to black people? But it happened to white people too. And it happened to Indians, but we don't like to talk about that, right?
I'll tell you.
And on top of that, and during the transatlantic slave trade, America barely got 1% of all the black slaves. Portugal got like over half of them. The Dutch got a lot of them, but America got almost the least amount. And yet we use that as a means to say, America, we got problems. There is no way, physiologically speaking, that any black person alive right now can sit there and have claims to feel the trauma of what happened to our ancestors during the slavery time. There's just no way. It never happened to us.
But if you're not a victim, you're not easy to control.
Let me ask you a question. Is KKK still alive and well right now?
I ain't never seen one.
Well, I'm not, just because you haven't seen one doesn't mean that they're not there. I live in Louisiana.
They started letting black people in the 90s.
Now
There are
look,
still active Klan members in Louisiana right now.
Doing what?
if,
Yeah, but the KKK
Like
started
terrorizing the
Hold
same
on.
shit, the same things that they've been doing. So listen, they're not lynching, but you will see the burning crosses.
Ooh, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being real with you, man.
Look up Gina, Louisiana.
Right.
If you don't know, and look, it's in the paper. Look up Gina,
Right.
Louisiana.
See,
These are things that's still happening.
I get it. I get what you're saying, bro. But here's the thing. Ooh, I mean, I don't want this coming down as being wrong, but it's like, ooh, they burned a cross. Ooh, what does that mean? Just like, for example, we know that supposedly a lot of black people got sent a text that was saying, hey, you Negroes, since Trump won, you got this email and you got this text, and it's to tell you that you need to show up at 12 o'clock. But who cares? My thing is, who cares? If they burn the cross, I bet you wasn't on somebody else's land. I bet you might have been on their own land. And they did that.
You do know
they're burning this in black people's land, not their land.
So
on people, like, so they are people still.
So
the
wait.
KKK is still terrorizing.
So how do we know that it was a KKK that did it? How do we know the black people didn't do it as a hoax?
They got active Klan members that ride around.
Right.
That
But again, how do we know that it was KKK that did it and not the black people that did it as a hoax? Because we are good for doing stuff like that. We've been caught doing it plenty of times.
now I got one point to make.
We can't say like a few instances, right? As a percentage, we can't say, oh well, because we've been caught, none of this is real. You know what I mean? Like, we can't say, oh well, hey, you had a couple bad apples, so that mean a whole bunch of apples is wrong.
Exactly. Okay. So how can we say that it was a KKK that did this? All because they are there?
No, well, the reason is more of they'll let it be known that, hey, this is the quote unquote the shit that we're on. Like it isn't like we can't, like, I live in the South, man. I live here every day of my life. I didn't know racism even existed. Like I told you when I first got on here, my mom's white and my dad is black. I got a black side of my family that don't want nothing to do with me because I'm mixed, and I have a white side of the family that strictly told me when we showed up to my grandmother's funeral and we walked in there, and they jump up and say, what part of the fucking family are they from? And it was an issue because me and my brother was there. So listen, so these are things that have happened.
So did that mean they were racist? They never seen y'all before. So they trying to figure out what the heck? Did they know it the whole time? Yeah. You know what I mean?
So listen, so case in point, my mom's mom didn't want to meet me and my brother because we were black. She said she couldn't do it. So and these are facts. These are the reality that I lived with, that I grew up with. And I'm not saying that every white person out here is bad, because that would be a lie. Because my mom's mom, which is my grandmother, I love her to death. Not a racist bone in her body. But there are white people in the United States that are still racist, man. And we'll be fools to think that they're not.
Just like there are black, just like there are Asians.
Listen. So you're taking that Black Lives Matter thing, whenever black people said Black Lives Matter, that it invalidated every other race. That wasn't what they were saying. And it's the same thing what I'm just saying. I'm not saying that all white people are bad and there's no bad black people. Hell, I just said there are black people that in my family that don't want nothing to do with me because I'm mixed. That is the reason. They don't like white people too. So of course there's racists. So I'm not saying that, hey, only black people are good people. I'm not uttering nothing like that, because it's bad people in both
guys
areas.
In Louisiana, you mentioned BLM. Where do you think the money went that BLM raised?
Wait, say that again?
No.
Where do you think the money went?
So where did
BLM raised?
the money? So listen. So you're talking about the money. We're talking about a woman that was in California using the money for her own personal gain.
That's just one person. That's just one person.
So I just, but it went to things that didn't have nothing to do with black people. If you want me,
but do you think based off of that there's a safe assumption that the whole movement from the very get-go was just to use black people and disenfranchise them?
You're missing the point. The people that's following the Black Lives Matter, they're not in it for what you're doing with the money. It was the message.
Which was what?
I know. They were riled up. They thought somebody was.
The message was pure. The message was pure Marxism. It was Marxism.
The message came off as, hey, this is going on in our community, and it is still going on in our community, and we're raising an issue.
No.
Just because if they would have said, hey, all lives matter, if they come out and say all lives matter, do you think people still would have been on board because of the George Floyd? No. They just said,
why would they? That's how you get them to get the money. That's how you get them. That's how you manipulate them and deceive them.
But listen,
Yes.
because
Just make it in
statistically,
the corner.
black people per capita get killed more than white people,
Wait,
man.
guys, hold on for a second, because the thing is, wait, hold on, because the thing is this, with what Black Lives Matter did, do you know that Black Lives Matter, that whole movement consisted maybe of 10% black people and the rest of them were white?
Nah.
Yeah, a bunch of
Yes, sir.
rainbow
Yes,
flag
sir.
people in there.
And
But
if you can go, you can pull up most videos right now. You might see some black people, but the main ones that were heading this up behind Patrice
pull
Cullors.
up the marches in Baton Rouge. Pull up the marches in Louisiana and start looking to see how many black people you see.
Yeah, I get that,
but
collectively in the whole United States, it was mainly liberal white people, the snow cone color hair, social justice warrior, white people.
Let me ask you a question. Under the Civil War,
Y'all hear
whenever
it?
they fought for our rights,
Ooh.
was it just black people fought in the Civil War, or was it white people?
I'm
If
glad
it
you
wasn't
brought
for the
that
white
up,
people-
because I had
if
a
it wasn't
point
for
I
the
was
white
gonna
people,
make.
blacks would have still been slaves. So what
Y'all
I'm
hear
saying
me?
is, and I'll go back to my point, all white people are not bad. And all black people are not bad. Everybody got bad apples, and every race on this earth has bad apples.
And now
So
that
we
we
can't-
know that, what's stopping you from moving on? Why are we dwelling on it? If we know that there's white people and black people on both sides,
doing fine.
what's the issue? What's the problem? Since we know that, what's the problem?
So the problem is, right? So it's where the resources are going, right? As I explained earlier, Louisiana, a Republican state, it always goes red, right? But it's the people that are getting voted in office. That is why we can't move on, right?
And it's our fault.
My people, as a group, it is our fault.
There it is. Listen,
And hold on, let me add a point.
Oh, wait, let him cook. Let him finish.
As I told you before.
Then I'm gonna get Mama Don and American Man in here. Go ahead.
I'm an independent. So when I can sit here and look at a spade and call it a spade. Our people are not getting out there enough and voting the right people in office to actually do right by the people. But whenever you, as a people, they've been feeling oppressed in some of these situations for so long, they ain't got the knowledge. The educational system isn't.
Well, this is kind of what I was trying to tell you earlier with reaching out to Trump and the charter schools. Like, you're complaining about education. But they just change education to the allow charter schools. If you study, the one thing the left does really well is organize.
Our man was
if you study
I'm going to tell you where all this systematic oppression started. I don't know if you know this, but back in the 1950s, black people were more wealthy per capita before the civil rights movement.
They were called the new.
Do you know who started all this systematic oppression? Lyndon B. Johnson. Do you know how he did that?
He was terrible.
He told black folks, as long as there ain't no daddy in the home, we gonna send you a check. He destroyed the nuclear family. And that's the biggest problem in America right now with every single race. It's because of that check. And do you know what Lyndon B. Johnson said when he put those policies in place?
Let me say it. Let me say it since you can't.
Go ahead, bro.
You can't. I'm gonna say it. He said, "I'm gonna have them niggers voting for me for the next 200 years."
And look what now.
But I think
another thing I'd like to say is the guy from Louisiana. We talked about education being a problem.
It isn't a black and white issue, and I think that's where the conversation is going. It's impoverished versus the rich, the have and have nots. So whenever we're using the term, what he said for the black people, I agree with some of the stuff you just said. I definitely agree with it. But the problem is, because whenever we look at the numbers, right? We go look at the numbers, right? If you look on every news station, they'll make it seem as if black people receive more food stamps than any other race in America, when it isn't.
Per capita.
It's white people.
It's white people.
It's white people. So we know this, right? But that isn't how it's presented to the world, or at least to America.
Now,
so
that man in the corner has been wanting to talk. I don't know his name.
I got you, Mama Don. Now, here's the thing, though. Wait, give me 1 second. Check this out. Here's the thing, though. When you keep on saying it's about the rich and the poor, I'm telling you right now, you may not agree with this, and it's completely fine, but subconsciously what has been ingrained in the mind is a literal Marxism ideology. Karl Marx was all about the poor people having to overthrow the rich people, the bourgeois, what we relate to as called the bougie people. And in doing so, it's saying, look, we farmers, we poor people, we should be able to all come together and get what they got, but we don't want to work for it to go get it. We should just be able to get it just because it's unfair that they're rich and we're not. These people that are capitalists and getting there and making their way through life to get where they are, not everybody start off with a spoon, because right now if people were to see what I have right now, and Mama Don been with me for a long time. She's the first person on here, Beth Mitchum. She's the first person who's been with me when I first started this channel. And they all know my story. You talking about at 10 years old, going around Chicago, picking cans with my brothers and turning it in for money for a stick of bologna and some bread. And for me to be where I am right now, I once had the mindset, hey, look at all the rich people, guys, look. But guess what? There was a door of opportunity that people try to prevent me from going to. They, man, if you get out there, man, hey, that system gonna get you, bro. Hey, man, I mean, white folks, man, hey, nigga, you go try to go to college, man. These white folks don't, bro, don't try to go into medicine, then. Don't try to become no doctor, nothing like that, bro. These white folks don't. I sat there and believed that. But guess what? When I walked through that door, scared to death, and stepped out there, none of that stuff that they told me about was going to be there was there. And here we go. But before people jump into it, because I know comments going to come. That's just you, though. That's just your experience. Well, then how come when I stepped out there, there's so many other black ones that look just like me, that they're doctors, they're therapists, they're lawyers, they're CEOs, they're all kind of in all facets of life. And then what they try to turn around and do is try to say, I got lucky, which is an insult to black folks, because by you telling me that I got lucky, what you're saying is that I didn't make good choices. I'm not smart enough. I'm not intelligent enough. I didn't sit there and try to network anybody. You saying that I just happened to get out and got lucky, coming from picking cans, turn it in for bologna and bread at the age of 10 to be where I am right now. And then for me to sit there and try to tell people, hey, the problem is that the rich getting rich, because there are people right now that will look at me and say, dude, you rich, you got fed a silver spoon, not having no idea I didn't have mom or dad in the house at all. See what I'm saying? So when I'm saying that right there is that Marxist ideology kick in. They teach us that from a young age. And the thing is, if you only would be able to sit there and try to peel back the layers as to why we even think that way, you will uncover that somebody implemented that in our head at a young age, at a very young age, and it got covered up based off of life circumstances. You're looking around and seeing everything that's going on. Therefore, you believed it. When you believed it, it becomes a part of our character. It becomes a part of our attitude. It becomes a part of our behavior. And that's why no matter what type of optimism, me trying to reach down, hey, come here, y'all, just walk through this door. Somebody got, no, man, and no. See, also, no. Do you want to be successful or not? Yeah, but see, the thing is, man, not everybody. See, I can't do that, because to me, it's just that mentality of always making up an excuse, because a lot of us have been trained to come up with excuses because we only learned it from those around us that do the same exact thing. But all I'm simply saying, walk through the door of opportunity, see what's on the side. If you don't like it, you can always go back.
You're absolutely right. The Democrats had the poor white people thinking like that too, because I thought like that back in the day. I was born 1980.
There's no way you can think like that, man, because you white. You got white privilege. There's no way there's no way.
Man, I was a preacher's son. I was on the front page of the paper and got kicked out of school because I got caught with a pound of motherfucking dope at school. I was slinging more dope than, oh my God, and doing stupid shit when I was growing up. But now, here I am, like 45 years old. I was able to retire. Now I run my own business. You just got to put the work in. You really do. Just like my man up there at the top said. And bro, I appreciate what you're doing with all this positive dialogue with everybody. More people need to do this.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me let Miss Beth Mitchum get in here, and then I'm gonna get American Man. I got you, sir. I got you. Come on, Mama Don.
That man in the corner, I'll let him go. He was wanting to talk the entire time. I seen him get nervous.
And I'm gonna bounce out, bro, so you can bring some more people up here, because I don't want to feel like I'm hogging the time or nothing like that.
You're good. I can bring up a 10 people, so it's only 7, so you're good.
Oh,
but
okay.
if you gotta go. I mean, by all means, go ahead, sir. If you need to go.
No, I'm straight. I just didn't want to feel like I was trying to, yeah.
Mama Don.
That man wanted to talk with the hat.
Oh no, I'm okay. No, I was just reacting. I'm okay. I'm good. No, I've already. No. You can go first. I was just reacting to a lot of what was said. I was just like, trying to,
Yeah, he's getting nervous. I thought he's gonna talk or bust.
No, I'm okay. I was just reacting.
Yeah, I've been that way too. I've had to want to say something so bad I thought I was going to explode.
No, okay.
But I grew up in the South also, and I've never seen a Klansman, don't know a Klansman.
And you in North Carolina, right?
I'm in North
Carolina.
You
the racist of the racist place when they first started off here. So, I mean, it definitely should be some remnants of them around.
I'm in Alabama.
Oh, yeah. His accent's thicker than mine.
And brought up industrialization after the Reconstruction. So I think there's some confusion about, like, the KKK.
Hold on for a second. Are you still going, Mama Don? Hold on, let me let her get it in.
A lot of people think that Republicans have always been racist. My grandpa who was born in 1897.
I have a black child.
When he was Republican all his life. There was no switch. There was no big, huge party switch. I don't even make any sense why an entire party would switch. Only like, what, 2 or 3 people switched? And that's been a lie the entire time. It's not that Republicans were racist. It's the Democrats knew how to play people better than we did. They started going after really poor people, saying, we're going to give you this, and we're going to, and that's how big government starts, is by giving. And you're taking from people who work hard every day, not just the rich, but you're taking from middle-class Americans who are having to, give 40%, sometimes almost 50% of our income to people who don't want to work, or Ukraine, or, that's the problem. There's too much government, period. If it were up to me, there would be one flat tax, but it's not. But to vote Democrat is to vote against yourself. I don't care who you are. Across the board, every way there is. Democrats were the party of KKK. That never changed. Biden was a party of, he was for segregation. He didn't change. I mean, just his stories are so crazy about, he said little black kids would rub his hairs. And I'm like, oh my God. Who talks like that? I mean, that's just, I don't know. It's just the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. Who rubs an old man's hairs on his legs? I don't get it. But like I said, these people.
It was a Freudian slip. He's talking about the Mexican stuff.
And then
He talks about that dude named Popcorn.
Yeah, Popcorn was a bad dude. I mean, he made up so many stories. He went to prison with Mandela. I mean, the reason he ran for president 3 or 4 times before 2020, and he kept getting kicked out. He never made the primaries because he kept lying. He plagiarized his speech. He lied about Mandela. He lied about where he how high on the hierarchy he was when he graduated. He said he was first in his class. I mean, he just constantly lied. So when he got 81 million votes from his basement, people were like, how'd that happen? I mean, you did not even campaign. You sit there and had cars show up, and there was 5 cars? I mean,
it just didn't make sense.
Well, I'm older than all of y'all, and I've been watching, I guess, since the late 70s. That tells my age. I've been watching all these voting things every year. Never seen them just stop like that. I was like, what in the world? Now, with the hanging chat, I don't know if y'all even remember that. People, had to recount all the votes. But this was literally, they said, we have to stop because we're having a flood in Georgia. When I went to bed, Bush was winning. I'm sorry. I went to the
Lord Jesus.
Trump was winning. When I woke up, Trump was losing, and I'm like, how did he catch up? I mean, when I went to bed, they were like, there's not enough votes for him to catch up. And then all of a sudden, all these votes showed up. So, I mean, I try not to live in the past. My family wasn't from here. We didn't own slaves. We were dirt poor. My grandpa was from Ireland. My dad.
Come on, granddad did, though.
Whose? Come on.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
Well, nobody knows who her family is.
Yeah, we know now. We know now. Candace Owens blew that wide open.
Candace Owens.
Yep.
My sister.
She interviewed him. She interviewed the family.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen all that, and I was like, how did she even get past the, they have to do a deep dive into but how did she even get past all that when there's no, basically no background for her? I don't know.
Candace Owens needs to run for some type of political office. She is a very intelligent, well-spoken young woman.
You don't. That's where you get crooked. She needs to stay doing what she's doing, spreading the news. Journalistic work is very important, especially now when all the mainstream media is full of crap.
That's true too.
Bird and all that. You have to.
That's just what recently happened, right? Like I think I talked about this in one of my videos I posted today. The mainstream media, CNN and MSNBC, they're all complaining now that Americans seem to be tuning in to these, they said, to these content creators on the likes of YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. They're watching them, and these people can be saying anything. They're not watching us. And I'm like, we're doing it. That's why I was saying, like, Americans, we are absolutely doing it. We're not relying on these news networks that had a dominance, pretty much like a monopoly, before the internet and everything came along. And now they're listening to people like me, Tatum, Candace, all types, Unifier. They're listening to all types of different people because it's easier to get a perspective from those of us that live among us versus those that are living actually out of our realm, so to speak, right? And they don't like
How
that.
they sleep at night's what kills me. No,
I think it's also a large part is they call this the age of information. And I think it's really the age of influence. The media isn't about giving you access to information. It's about discrediting information that doesn't agree with their narrative and influencing you in a certain direction. And I think it goes back to, like, we were talking earlier about black on black violence and that kind of stuff. The black community needs to take control of their culture. They need some type of media. They need something where it's no longer listening to this liberal media telling you to kill yourself and kill your friends, and that's how you're going to make money and that's how you'll be rich. It should be more about self-empowerment. Like an older gentleman was talking about back in the day in the 90s, black is beautiful. There was a lot less information.
Yes.
I think we need to think about going back to that and going back to empowerment. The music is we have kids that are teenagers that are shooting each other at bus stops. That's fucking insane. It's like African child soldier stuff. This is not everyone, regardless of your race, as an American, should be kind of concerned about this. Chicago is like Lebanon. Like, this isn't, no American should have to live that way.
Right, I hear you. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let me, because he's been holding on for a while. American Man, you still there?
Yes, sir.
The New Yorker. I know you. I'm sorry, man. I forgot, man. I not seeing your picture right there a little bit. It kind of threw me off. But yeah, go ahead, man. You got the floor. My bad.
No, it's fine, man. I'm just waiting patiently. Thanks for having me, Modern Renaissance Man. Thanks for the work that you do. Let me just say that women can still have abortion. They just have to do it within 3 months. Your right to abortion has not been taken away. You can still go do it. You just have to do it within the first 3 months of your pregnancy. That's all. But you can still do it carte blanche.
All states are different now.
All states are different.
Yeah,
All states have different exceptions.
Right. I've been patient. I would just like to speak a little bit, please. Most of the states have 3 months or more. There's only 1 to 3 states that have maybe fully banned it or have less. But other than that, you could still go get your abortions. Like, that right has not been taken away from you. So anyone telling you that is just misinforming you and fear mongering you and making you emotional. As far as, because I've heard a lot now, I just got to try to keep up. As far as the woman up here, yeah, she's correct. The Democrats are, well, she didn't necessarily say this, but she touched on it. The Democrats, there was no party switch. Black people, most of your problem is voting Democrat. There was no party switch. Most of these people, the so-called Dixiecrats, went back into the Democratic Party, and they just ruled you differently. That's all facts again. Like, there's no, if you go read history, you will see that that's exactly how it worked out. They didn't go to the Republican Party. They went directly back into the Democrat Party and told you that they were your friend. Again, I was silent so long, I gotta remember some of the things that was said, because there was a lot said here.
You want me to throw one out for you?
Yes,
The
please,
one
because
of one of
I'm
the
I
because
just
I write stuff down. One of the things was believing that a woman should be able to do what she want with her body.
as far as a woman being able to do what she want with her body, there's that that's a touchy subject, sure, but you get to a certain point, and I'm kind of old fashioned, and so my views may be a little more old fashioned than I don't know. Maybe this audience may not be cool with,
Explain.
but
I'm all about freedom of speech. I want to hear it. I like to hear all sides and perspectives. So
a woman should be able to do. I mean, again, right? Like, yeah, she could do what she want with her body, but at some point, women and children need regulating, and they can't just be carte blanche doing what they want, because we've seen this election, right? When you give women carte blanche what they want, they don't care that we can have a nuclear war. Their main thing is we just need to have abortion. Well, yeah, that's cool, right? And you can have abortion up to 3 months, but after that, we need to start worrying about nuclear war and whether or not you're paying $7 for a cup of ramen noodles and $10 for a loaf of bread. Like, there's more going on besides that, because that issue is not an issue that 100% of Americans have to take up. Right, that's an issue for a small segment of Americans, because there's no 10-year-old girls concerning themselves with abortion. There's no 45 to 50-year-old women concerning themselves with abortion, because at some point these people are going into menopause. Like, we have to be real about this. Now, I know it's scary for most men, quote unquote, to admit, but this is the real deal. I'm a father of 2 girls. I'm not concerned for my 10-year-old and my 15-year-old to have abortion, because that's not what I want. That's not where I'm pushing them, right? They have my protection. I protect them. And so my main concern is, gotta make sure they're able to get abortion. Gotta make sure my 10-year-old can have abortion. No, I want my 10-year-old to go to school, get an education, find a husband, and be married. I'm not concerned with, she gotta be able to go get an abortion. Like, that's weird to me, first of all. That's weird. Right? And I'm not concerned about that for my 15-year-old, because guess what? I raised her to understand that you don't need to go around banging everything moving and use an abortion. So I kind of, and this may trigger some people, but if you're a man, quote unquote, and you have daughters, and your main concern is them getting an abortion, you're clearly not raising them to be proper women.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I said it, proper women.
Facts. They're using it for birth control. They need to learn how to keep their legs closed if they don't want to take the responsibility.
all right, and
What about the
I want
ones
to throw
that get
something.
raped, though?
I want to throw something
What
in
about
here
the 10,
too from a medical
15-year-olds that get
standpoint. Is that, like, based off of what he just got done saying? I'm gonna let y'all know something, because a lot of people don't get to see this world, y'all. This we're trying to get a lot of stuff pushed. What I'm getting ready to tell you. So look, this is what I like to say. When people come, and I literally like these. I mean, there are a lot of liberals to the left, the people that believe in this. When you say something like a woman should be able to do what she wants with her body, the only person the only species right now on Earth in America that does not have a choice with their body are men. Because when you turn 18 years old, they sign us up to go into the selective services, and if something goes down and a draft happen to happen, we don't have a choice. That is literally our bodies being put out there. When a woman, and that's what I'm saying, when I talk to some of these young folks, when they say my body, what does that thing inside you have to do with your body? Because then if you have a child inside of you, isn't that child considered a body? What choice does that child have? And then I've been doing a lot of reading things. I'm definitely to the Constitution. The Constitution said that everybody should have a right to life, liberty and the pursuit of happiness, what about that life inside you? Does it get a chance to that, that pursuit of happiness? Now, people tell me, and I love it, they'll say, well, it's just a clump of cells. Oh, you really? So what about those cells that's surrounding your heart right now, that from the day that conception happened, after weeks of conception, that heart starts to beat? That is controlled by some cells. And if that cells don't have a proper amount of sugar or glucose or sucrose, if those cells around that heart don't get that sugar, those cells would die, which means you will die. So how about we just get rid of the cells on your heart if it's just a clump of cells? Wait, those cells, those skin cells that protect you every single day of your life. That's the first defense mechanism till you getting sick. How about we just get rid of that, what we call a natural acidic skin mask? How about we just keep that off of your body every single day? Since it's only cells and it doesn't have a mind, it's not a person. See what I'm saying? How about the cells that actually cause other things in your body to function right now as they are? How about we get rid of all of those cells that don't have a mind, but yet for some odd reason seem to know what to do? See, the thing is, I always say this. Everything, if you are a human being right now, every last ounce of cells in your body on a molecular level all do things based off of life. Whether you want it to or not, you're going to breathe. Whether you want it to or not. Whether you want it to or not, you are going to have the different parts of your body producing things that it was meant to do. But the only way you're going to stop that is if you decide to get rid of it, right? So what I'm saying therefore is that when it comes to if you can call it a clump of cells being in your body, if you don't do anything, why is it that life will continue on? Life. So that's what I just kind of wanted to throw in there, just to kind of give people some thinking about it. And the last thing I'm going to say right now before somebody else jump in here is this. If this is the thing that we want to push, and like I said, if we're going to decide on this is Trump made it to where it went back to the states. And when people say, I don't want the government telling me what to do with my body, Trump literally gave that to you. He took it from being federal to saying we're going to let each state decide. And by each state, he's saying we, the people in each state, is going to decide what we're going to do when it comes to abortion, right? And with that being said, if we want to say that abortion is part of the sex education, everything like that, why don't we show those videos to those kids when they're going through the sex education? Let's see how their minds change when they see a baby getting ripped out and seeing parts, and that's a foot, that's an arm, that's a crushed head right there. I guarantee you those kids will look at that and go, I bet you they can, I don't know what, these kids are some freaking psychotic sociopaths. If they look at a baby being pulled out of a JJ, let's show the whole thing. I mean, it's part of sex education, right? If you show a baby getting ripped out piece by piece and then put it on a dish or a tray and show the crushed head, a frowned up face, and you telling me a child will be able to look at that and say, oh, I can't wait to do that. But they won't do it because they know consciously a person will look at that and say, that's a goddamn on human. I don't care what they try to tell me. I see some feet. I see some hands. I see a head. How is that just a clump of cells? They won't be able to do it. And that's why when they do these abortions, they don't ever, when a woman gets an abortion, they never take that tray and then put it in her face and go, look, here it is right here. They don't know. Why don't they want to see it? Why don't they want to see it if it's just a clump of cells? So that's why I just want to throw it in there. And like I said, make a disclaimer. I have nothing against a woman or any person, whether you're a couple or not. You decide to do what you want to do because people are going to do it anyway. But my point in saying that, I just wanted to bring that reality in, and that's something we're trying to implement into legislation as well, is if you're going to call it sex education and all that, throw abortion in there. Show when a man get his ding-a-ling cut off and get it reversed and they use his ball sacks as a vajayjay lips. Show that. Show how he has to always use a glorified stainless steel dildo to put up that wound so it won't close like a pierced ear. This is stuff that we see. This is stuff that I had to go through when we went through men and women's health. This is the stuff they don't show. Show a woman vajayjay getting completely vacuumed out and everything like that, and they seal it up and give her a urethra and give her a prosthetic penis that never works. Show all that. They won't do it. You want to know why? Because there's nobody that will be able to watch those videos as a young kid going through sex education and look at that and say, I can't wait to get my penis cut off to turn my balls into a vajayjay lips and put this glorified stainless steel dildo up me to have a fake vagina and to where another man gonna want to put his penis inside of a wound. I'm done.
Yep. Yeah, they have to keep it.
Let me, real quick, you mentioned selective service. I'm pretty sure Biden opened selective service to women so they can be drafted now too.
Well, let me jump in and just sort of piggyback off of what he said.
There you go.
It's ironic, right? Because we don't know what a woman is and we don't know what a baby is. But if I today at this moment go out and become a maniac and slaughter a woman that's 2 months pregnant all of a sudden, every last one of you on a panel will know what a woman and know what a baby is.
I know what a woman is. Me, I'm the only one on the.
Right.
And
That's why
well,
my damn
American
job
man,
application.
American man, how what? And if you did that to that woman and that child, what would you be charged for?
Double homicide.
Double homicide.
Yep.
For a clump of
Double
cells?
homicide.
For a clump of
All of
cells?
for a clump of cells.
What?
All of a sudden,
I mean, what if you washed her body with some soap in the process and you killed her dead skin cells on her skin? What, shouldn't you get charged for that too, though?
listen, double. Listen. Double homicide. I would be charged with.
Yep.
Right. And no one that's saying, oh, it's a clump of cells and they should be able to have rights are going to say, oh, well, he just killed one person and we're going to go on march. None of you would say it. So you're all cosplaying. You're all cosplaying at this point because you do know what a woman is. No. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you.
The panel.
Okay. But I'm being hyperbolic, but I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about those men on this panel and that are listening that are advocating for all this nonsense. They would not be the ones out there. They would not be the ones out there talking about, no, he should only get one homicide. And you know what? We don't even know if he killed a woman because what is a woman? They would never say that.
Then you got all these weird motherfuckers going into the wrong bathrooms and shit too. Motherfuckers, they talking about being furry woodland creatures and shit. And motherfucker on a job application it says male or female.
Language.
I'm sorry. I apologize. That subject is
you got to contribute to the Cash App now. You gave me flack. Now I'm messing with you.
My phone's dying. I gotta let you all go. It's been great talking to you, though. I hope you all have a great night.
Who was that?
You too.
You got to put money in there.
My phone's dying.
Ray Boston.
Well, to jump on what.
When I subscribe, I'll tune in again.
Hey man, you had to give me your Cash App for real. I definitely like to donate to the channel because I really dig what you're doing. Because like on some real stuff, me being a business owner, like my YouTube channel, Flame Train CBD, I'll get on and I'll get political and I'll catch backlash from the community, but at the same time, I don't give a damn.
Yes, sir.
I really don't.
Well, Todd, to kind of piggyback on what all of y'all were saying, was to go down the rabbit hole. The reason all these Hollywood big people, want abortion is, I believe, they do things with those body parts that are kind of sick and put it on their faces and inject it in their arms.
Them red shoes.
Yeah, I'm going down the rabbit hole.
No, go down it. I mean, I talk about it on the channel as well. I mean, these people are not saying these things for no reason. I mean, when Roseanne Barr came out and said it too. I mean, a few other celebrities.
Yep.
Years ago, I told my son loves The Rock. He loves The Rock. He actually did one of those commercial things to try to be on the wrestling thing. He did one of those, what is it, where they used to take you and you could train as a wrestler, the WWE or whatever it was.
Uh-huh.
But he did that. And I told him that The Rock said he ate babies. And he's like, Mom, he's kidding. I said, I don't know. He's in Hollywood. He might. I don't know. But
No, he's
years ago. And they made fun of me. I said, there's some reason these people love these abortions so much, because nobody would look at that and say, yeah, that's just beautiful. Let's just keep doing this. And, that Miley Cyrus is there and she's licking a cake with, I love my abortion. I've seen signs, women saying, I've had 10 abortions and I loved every one of them. And I'm like, something's wrong with y'all. Something is wrong with your brain to think that's okay.
Yeah, that's not normal.
No,
Hey,
that's what it is. I'm not saying in case of emergency. I'm not saying that. But as far as I know, it's always been, if there was some sort of emergency, they automatically had to do something because that's just a medical procedure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I've always been told. And I'm like I said, I'm older than, I can't see you, the Emma dude, but the rest of you, I'm older than all of y'all. I'm telling you, I've lived a long time and I've known women who've actually had to have that done. Well, I know one. And they gave it to her. And this was years ago. This was in the 70s. So,
Well,
like I said,
you're older than me, ma'am.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm older than y'all. And I'm telling you, it's always been a medical procedure. It's never been. And like I had nowadays, they've got the morning after pill. There's no reason for an abortion, which they say that's a form of abortion, but it just kills the sperm, which is no different than if a man, he just, does things in a towel or whatever.
That's probably the closest thing to a clump of cells that you could get.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. If you did something and they'll give it. I mean, what is it, $20? Who doesn't have $20? I don't care who you are. You got $20. Even the homeless people out there, I see them going from street to street. I'll see them on this road, and then I'll go down the road, and they'll be down this road. And they'll go stay in that hotel over there and be eating McDonald's on their front stoop or whatever in the city. But that's what I'm saying. They got anybody can get $20 to pay for that. And that's without insurance.
Okay. I think Donnie, you was trying to say something real quick there.
Yeah, my man. Look, I appreciate the opportunity to come in and have a discussion with y'all. Even if we don't agree on everything, I'm always willing to have a conversation about everything, because the only way we can come together is actually listening to the other side and how they feel. But to piggyback off of the abortion, the only thing I mentioned about the abortion and what I stood for was I don't believe that the government should be telling my daughters whatever decision they make. Like I said, I have 5 girls.
If your daughters decided to commit suicide, that's against the law too.
But you're not understanding what I'm saying.
That's the government. That's the government.
And what I'm saying is the government shouldn't have a right to tell my daughters what they should have to do with their body. As it's clear, I have 5 kids. I don't believe in abortions.
If they
want to make a decision, listen, if they want to make that decision for themselves, that is on them. Now, that is going to be a decision between them and the child's father. That is not going to be my decision, and I don't feel it should be anybody else's decision. What the problem is, the thing is this: I'm a very private person in my household. This is the first time I've ever got on a live and spoken with anybody. Like I said, I came across your channel randomly. Like I said, there are definitely parts that I do agree with what you say, and there's going to be parts that I disagree with. And
please like and subscribe.
Most definitely, I already did it. But the biggest thing for me is the right. This is supposed to be the land of the free. I don't believe in the land of big government in any facet.
Well, there's always going to be safety concerns with anything where you have some sort of government control on. I mean, like I said, you can't commit suicide. There's certain things you can't do. I can't just sit here.
You can. That ain't illegal for you to do. You're not going to go to jail if you commit suicide.
No,
you did.
Kind of. You're going to get mental jail when they put you on all that medication on the 7th floor in the hospitals.
But listen, if I commit suicide, I'm dead. Attempting suicide may be illegal, but committing suicide is 2 different things.
You're going to hell, you commit suicide.
But listen, I'm a Christian.
So this is something that I want
to.
to.
America is not a Christian.
So this is something that I want
to. We can't push one belief on more of other people. Belief on more of other people. You see what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be land of free. You see what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be land of free.
Some echoes going on.
There's some echoes going on.
That's like if I'm holding a baby in my arms, that baby's not inside me.
What is happening?
What is happening?
In my arms.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's the difference between holding it in my arms and holding it in my stomach? Is that I'm holding it. I just don't see. I don't see how anyone can say, we have a right to kill something, period. That's another. You know what? The sad thing is most of the women who have abortions would say it was horrible for someone to kill.
So, hypothetically, not to cut you off, hypothetically, if he said he had a 10-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old. If both of them get raped by a man,
oh God,
hold on. These are things that happen.
Let them go.
If both of your daughters get raped by a man and get pregnant, should they have that baby? If they're
Why
pregnant,
wouldn't they
should
go
have
get the
man.
morning after pill? It's offered to them when the.
What if
during
they
the
don't say
rape.
nothing? Because this is most women that get raped do not say nothing about that happening to them, because
I
that's not
get,
something that they bring up. So these are things that happen in America. Those statistics are out there.
I guess in that situation, I guess the way I've looked at it is that child, that fetus,
get what
whatever
you, I understand your point. I want to hear M's point of view, because he said, you know, he's not raising his daughters that way. Well, every 15-year-old and 10-year-old
Oh,
doesn't end up pregnant because of the way that they're raised. They have daughters and women that get out there that has been raped, and I have family members, and that's why I guess it's a
Well,
touchy subject.
I tell you what,
Because he
Okay, well-
implied something
the
to me
only
that I
girl
wasn't
here, or woman.
that I
Well,
wasn't saying.
well, he would. So I would just like to answer. I would just like to answer, right? The chances of my 10-year-old and my
We're doing a hypothetical.
no. Okay, so I'm going to let you keep going until you allow me to give you an answer.
Well, you're deviating from the point. So, and I guess that's kind of where how the conversation goes. So
No.
question.
I'm not deviating from the point, because you're literally trying to bludgeon me with the 1%.
I'm not bludgeoning you. What I'm
You
saying
are.
is, listen,
You
I
are. You're
asked you a
bludgeoning me
specific
with the
question,
1%.
and you're changing.
Hold on. No, I'm not. You're bludgeoning me with the 1%. That's not the likely reality.
1%.
What do you think? You think that's the 95%?
What I'm saying is,
I mean, so you know they have stats on abortions. Hold on. You're going to ask me. You asked me a question. You know they have stats on abortions, right? And the stats on abortions are rape and incest is the absolute minority. And so when people like you bring up the absolute minority, you become irrelevant because you just bring up the minority. Talk about the majority, which is just recreational. But you love to bring up the minority. Oh, let me tell you about the minority.
So all I'm asking is, if I'll go back to my
stats. They have stats.
Okay. I can agree with your point. Okay, they have stats.
Well, don't your daughters was raped?
I gotta go pick my kid up from work. Much love, and hey, I appreciate all you guys.
Yeah, appreciate the super chat if you sent it.
Yeah, I appreciate
Oh, I'm going to as soon as I bounce off of here, bro.
I just didn't know if you did or not. I just want to thank you just in case. I like to do that.
Got you, man. But I got you when I get off of here, man. Much love.
Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you again.
You too. Peace.
Don't you think he would know if his 15-year-old or 10-year-old was raped?
Is every 15-year-old and 10-year-old, do you know if every 15-year-old and 10-year-old that has been raped says something?
I don't know of any. I don't know any, but I'm just saying.
I'm speaking from a personal experience. I'm speaking from a personal experience, so I do.
I think I would know.
I do. So I'm speaking from a personal experience of me finding out later that it happened.
Now, hey, I have no problem with a child being raped by a family member.
Wait, what? Wait. I believe that didn't come out right. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on, Mama Don.
What the?
I want you to rephrase.
And they become pregnant, yes, they can have an abortion.
Mama Don, wait.
Okay.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Okay.
Mama Don, I was about to call you on the phone and end this live stream, girl.
But hold on. But you guys realize that almost all states have the exceptions for that. We keep going to the minority.
Almost all states.
We keep going, but the reality is we cling to the minority to advocate for the majority.
I swear, I hate to cut you off. Not to cut you off. Does each state have at least 1 million people living in it right now?
Oh my God. We cling to the minority to advocate for the majority. And that's not how it works.
So
now,
who advocates for
right. There's something you said that I wanted to address before you leave. You said you don't want big government. You said you don't want big government in your abortion, right?
I don't want
I agree with you.
life, period.
I agree with you. You know what that means? privatize abortion. Don't ask taxpayers to pay for it. Don't ask your politicians to be involved. Privatize it. You go find a private clinic that will say, hey, you pay me, I do the abortion and move on. And it does not involve your politicians and your taxpayers.
Mama Don, where you
We're going to
go?
be in agreement right there. I'm not against that, what you're saying right there. I'm just
Oh, okay.
saying
Then
they shouldn't have the right to tell them what they should do. And that's why I'm saying, like, if these scenarios that I brought up.
right, but if you're advocating for abortion, then you should advocate for the privatization of it. If that's where you are, say, hey, I don't want you taxpayers involved. I don't want you government officials involved. Let the doctors open up their clinics and charge me whatever amount they want to do this abortion.
Correct. I don't have a problem with it because I don't know no facilities that I know of in Louisiana.
But in all likelihood, you're not going to advocate for that.
So I don't know any facilities that takes a form of Medicare. I don't go get them, so I couldn't tell you who pays for it. I'm gonna be honest with you, because are you
going to pretend like you don't know how they're being paid for?
No, I do know that women can't pay for it out here themselves. I do know that.
You just said I don't know any abortion that takes Medicare, right?
I don't know any government agencies. I don't go get any. I don't get abortions. I never got one before.
Oh yeah, they'll pay for it.
I don't know any government agencies.
The government will pay for abortions, and they will pay for men to have vasectomies for free.
There you go. And that's taxpayers and politicians all working together, and that's big government that you're against. So you should be out here with your signs advocating against that.
But also, if I'm gonna advocate against it, I'm gonna also advocate for. I don't believe that they should have the right to tell women what they should do with their bodies, regardless of it. Isn't they listen? If two of y'all gentlemen want to get married, it's not my business. I don't care what y'all do. I don't care if he gets your Social Security when he passes it. That isn't my business, because your household is your household. My household is my household. I clean my own doorstep before I want to go to somebody else's house and clean their doorstep. And I think that is the issue. Americans want to be so caught up in worrying about the next person's household whenever they need to focus on their own household. Not everybody.
Okay, but if you don't worry about, look at that could lead to reckless behavior. Because think about this. And I respect the fact that you know people personally who were assaulted. And I'm sorry for that.
So you see why I'm passionate about it, though, in a sense.
That, but the gentleman is also making a point where that is the minority, because what destroys that what you're talking about a little bit is because you got all these women that participate in this 4B crap. So basically, they're withholding from men because they can't go abort the kid if something happens. That's a lack of self-control. So you mean to tell me you can't go out there and get pleasure without ended up pregnant? Why not push protection? Why not push birth control? But you're pushing abortion because you want the right to abort the kid because you just can't control yourself. So you're going to withhold from men. You know, you're not going to give it up to men, as if men are the problem. It takes two for someone to get pregnant, whether it's forced, unforced, whatever it is, it takes two. So these women can't control themselves, but they're not talking about going out there and getting sexually assaulted. They're not talking about incest. They're talking about going out there having pleasurable interactions.
But they are, though.
But they can't do nothing about it. So they're going to withhold from men. They're going to willingly give their bodies to men. I'm not talking about rape or incest. I'm talking about they're going to willingly not give their bodies to men because they can't abort the kid if they want to. This is why the government does need to be involved, because we don't need reckless women like this, or men for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes men pay for it for the women. You know what I'm saying? It's irresponsibilities on both sides. So I'm talking about like we don't need irresponsible people out there just going to the clinic whenever they feel like it and killing kids because they're not ready, or oops, we slipped up again. Again. We're going to go keep aborting these kids because we keep slipping up. That's why the government needs to be involved. We can't just have people out there being reckless, killing kids because they made a mistake.
Well, no, the government doesn't need to be involved. Do you want to know why? Because as soon as they figure it doesn't belong to the Fed anymore, guess what they said? We're not having sex anymore. So as soon as the government fully got out of it and they returned it to the states, guess what? The numbers have already gone down. So the government being involved was actually the problem. Mm-hmm. Because now that the government has returned it and said, no, you got to go to your states and you gotta deal with that with your state. Women decided, you know what? We ain't sleeping with nobody. We ain't doing nothing. So the government
God's
involvement.
Well, no,
If you
when I
think
say
American,
states,
if you think
I do mean
American
local
women
government.
aren't sleeping with men right now,
No,
because
you're
of a
missing.
government,
You're
a government
No, that's not
missing
what
it
he's
saying that they're
saying.
all,
holding out.
bro.
That's
They're
not what
not
he's saying,
holding
though.
out, man.
You're
But that's
missing
how
it
it comes off
all.
as that. It comes off as that way though, man. Like
No, when I
I
say
get I
states, I
get your
mean,
point. I
yeah.
agree with portions of what you're saying, but the way it comes out and comes off is if you're saying like they're withholding the
No, that's
they're
what the
withholding.
4B
They're just having
movement
sex smarter.
claims. No. Agreed. They are attacking it smarter, but guess what? They were less smart when the government was fully involved. Now that they feel like the government is less involved and something has been taken away from them, magically they've realized, oh, there's IUDs, there's shots, there's condoms, there's all these things. Magically they've realized it when they feel like the government is less involved. And so them feeling like the government is involved seem to have proven to be more of the problem.
No. When I say government, I don't mean. I mean, I still mean local government, like with my legislature in Texas, with all that. I'm talking about like that. When I don't mean the feds, but I mean just any kind of like your state being able to step in and say no or yes. I still think that needs to be in place. I mean, you just can't be irresponsible out there creating lives and then thinking you can just go execute them because oops, I slipped up. But like you were saying, now they're focusing on.
Is that a moral issue like that you feeling? Like is that like a religious or moral issue, or is it just
You're moving the goalposts. Come on. We gotta stick to it.
That ain't moving the goalposts.
No, you are not. Now you're bringing in morals and religion.
I'm asking a simple question. You're saying I'm moving the goalposts by
You
asking
are.
a question. I'm asking what is his views on it? Is it a moral or is it a religious view? You know,
For
like
me,
what,
for me, it's both. It's my personal feelings about it, and it's my belief in God. I believe it's wrong. It's both. You know, even if say I don't bring up the Bible at all, my personal feelings about it is that it's wrong. It's always going to be wrong. I do understand there are certain situations where it's necessary. I do understand certain situations where it could be considered if something happened. I understand the situations where the conversation will be on the table. I understand there are situations where the conversation may have to happen. But overall, I'm never going to agree with it, ever, because it's still a life. It's still a life. Right. And I'll never going to understand someone that has kids that can condone that in any way, shape, or form, like ever. I'm never going to understand that.
What the reason, and I guess the reason it is for me that I can sit here and be like, that's a choice that they have to make, is because I'm a firm believer of we're supposed to be in the land of the free, right? And I'm gonna take the Bible out of it because my religious beliefs is that it is wrong. It isn't something, but that's not my place to correct the next person on how they feel about something.
But that's
right?
hypocritical, though. So your belief is that it's wrong. So you're not going to raise your daughters to believe the same?
Well, listen, I can tell them that I feel it's wrong, and can tell them, hey, you shouldn't do this. But if that's a choice that they choose to make in the future, I can't control their decisions because I'm not a dictator. I'm not controlling how they feel about themselves or what they want for their body. And that's all
how old are your daughters again?
My daughters is 23, 21, 20, 18, 17.
Okay, if your daughters was, I can't remember those numbers. If your daughters were 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and they said, Dad, I want to go have sex with this 40-year-old man, that's their body. Why can't they do it?
Why? Wait, hell no, they can't have no sex with no man for 40 years.
No, why?
You don't want to be a dictator. You don't want to tell them nothing, like, seriously.
Why?
So
why
listen.
not?
So I'm not a dictator, but as M said, I'm not raising my daughters to be going out here and doing these things.
But now you're dictating them now.
But
no, bro, don't bring me into this. Leave me out of it, bro. Leave me out of it. Don't bring me into it.
Teaching and dictating is two different things.
Oh.
Right? Because everything that y'all talking about, you're taught, right? You gave a story that you from 10 years old, you was picking cans and you tied your bootstraps up, right? And everything that everybody told you to be afraid of, when you got there, none of that was happening. None of that was there, right? You seen more people just like you. Am I not wrong? Is that what
That's
you're saying?
right.
So but you was taught these things, right?
Well,
somebody had
them, but
somebody had to light that match under you and say, hey, you can be whatever you want to be. You can achieve anything you want to achieve. You had to have somebody in your life. You can't say it was just nobody was around. Nobody
no, I
just
got
taught
you. I got you.
to be like the status quo, what everybody else in the hood is saying or how they feel. Because the ones that make it out the hood is the ones that think for themselves.
But
And
at the same time, though, with you saying that you don't want to tell them what to do with their bodies and all that, why can't they do it what they want with their bodies at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Especially if they already, okay, for example, I always like to hear people from a biological standpoint. So if being in medicine, if a lot of girls go through the cycle of having a menstrual cycle, biologically they have become women. So some of them get it at 10, some of them get it at 11, some of them get it at 12. So why can't they go out and be with a 40-year-old man if they choice? If they want to have that, they want to go have sex and everything like that at that age, why can't they? They're ready. Biologically, they're ready. So that's nature.
Okay. So what's the law of the land state on it?
We're not talking about the law. We're talking about you, though. Remember? No.
Well, I done told you my view on there. They're not raised to do things like that. Teaching and dictating is two different things.
Right. So then I guess our thing was, why would you teach them that doing this to a fetus inside them is wrong? We're not telling you that you're saying you better do this. We're saying, why wouldn't you teach them that? So, for example, when I gave the thing earlier, when I was telling you guys, when it comes to sex education, am I dictating or am I teaching them what an abortion is if I showed it to them?
Correct. I agree. And listen, I agree with you.
So if you showed your daughters then what an abortion looked like, do you think that if you told them to look, hey y'all, even though y'all just seen this little limb, this little torso, this little crushed head, hey, but if y'all decide to do that one day, it's y'all choice.
Correct.
So show them.
They have seen it.
They've seen it.
They've seen it. They've seen the one that was in my wife's stomach.
And then with them seeing that, they were like, oh yeah, that's nothing. Cool.
Nah. Of course it isn't be there because that's a sibling.
Got it.
You get what I'm saying? So for them, yeah, they have seen this. So and these are experiences. But what I'm saying is, if they would choose, if they get older and make a decision like that, that is still their choice. It's not I can't stop them from making choices, bro. Like I really can't.
How would you feel about them making that choice though? Like honestly, how would you actually feel about them making that choice?
Depends on the circumstance.
But say it wasn't any kind of health problem, nothing like that. They say, you know what?
No rape, no rape,
yeah,
no nothing. Just
like that.
If I would be upset.
Would you let them know?
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Well, why would you express that to them?
Because that is not what I believe in.
So this is what I don't understand though. You don't, and this is no disrespect to you, okay? I don't know how else to phrase this. You don't feel the need to let them know to the point where, okay, I'll put it this way. You don't want to dictate to them to where they don't ever get one, but you will tell them about how you feel after they got one. What's the difference? The damage is done at that point. So why wouldn't you want to put the pieces in place to literally talk them out of ever going on that route unless they needed to? Like needed to. I'm talking about needed. Life or death, incest, craziness, something like that. Not just I went out or me and my boyfriend been together for all these years and we slipped up. I'm talking about needed to happen. What is the difference between you saying right now, I don't want y'all to ever do this because it's wrong. I don't believe it's right. I want you to believe the same. Why would you say it after the fact?
No, so, and I think this is kind of getting lost in translation right here because I'm saying if that's something that they choose to do, and these are messages that done been preached in my household. But as I say again, I didn't listen to everything my parents told me. I can't sit here and say that I listened to every single word that they said to me. I have not. But what I can say is there were decisions that I made that my parents didn't want me to make when I was younger. And I still made those decisions based off of how I felt. They didn't stop me. They couldn't. Once I turned 18, they could not stop me from making the decisions that they didn't want me to make. But I still made those decisions. Whether it came back to bite me in the ass is another story. But nonetheless, I still had the choice to make those decisions. And through all the trials and tribulations, like I said, man, I'm good. I got my own business. I got kids that love me. I have a wonderful family. I can preach that message. But if that's a choice that they would decide to make, that is on them. Now, mine, that is not a make or break issue with me far as this past election. Not even close. But that is one of those areas where they should be exceptions. I'm the guy that say, hey, they should have exceptions. The argument of there should be no exceptions, have that baby at all costs is bullshit to me. I'm sorry. It's just crap to me, man. I don't agree with it. That is something that I wouldn't advocate for no woman to have to be forced to have a baby for somebody that she didn't want or even want that or couldn't even defend herself at the moment, and then be forced to go full term to have a baby because it's a life. Nah.
I get you. Let me throw something in there real quick. And like I tell, my biggest thing is this. I always say nature never lies. Nature does not lie. So when we say forced to have a child, that means you're telling me that now when I say you, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking to the audience. When you say forced to have a child, to the listening audience, are you saying now, because that phrase been thrown around like that, are you saying that your own natural nature body, these cells that God so brilliantly created, are you saying that those cells are forcing you to have this child? That's what I want. I just want that thought to go out there, because if you don't do anything, again, life will continue. Those cells will continue to do what they were designed to do, and that's to create life. So when we say somebody is forcing me to have a child, no, your body is just doing what your body's doing. You don't complain when your body forces you to poop. You don't complain when your body forces you to piss. But yet at the same time, your body is creating this life inside of you that you made a decision whenever you laid down and had sex. And now what you're saying is that I don't want to take on the responsibility of that choice. I hate that we put it out there. I'm not saying anybody on this panel is doing this or anybody out there in the YouTube world is doing this, but I don't like when we use the words like, I made a mistake. No, you clearly agreed to having sex. You clearly agreed to that dude not wearing a condom. You clearly agreed to not having no contraceptions or anything like that. So what did you think was going to happen? So the consequences of wait, let me finish. I don't want to say consequences. The beauty or the reward of having sex is a child. Now you got the X and Y chromosomes of a male. We decide what the birth of the baby. We decide what the sex gender of the baby is going to be with the sperm. The men, we do that. But if a woman goes and she gets pregnant, we both you did a contract. When we both agreed to have sex, that's a verbal contract. When we finally finish doing what we're doing, the verbal contract ended. Now, what gets me is the fact that when we say she should be able to do what she wants with her body, no man is sitting there telling a woman to off themselves. He's not saying you need to delete your body. He's saying, I'm the one that gave you the child. I'm the one to hold the X and Y chromosome with my sperm. What if I want to keep the child? Well, you can't tell a woman what to do with her body. I'm not talking about her body. I'm talking about the body that's inside her. And I guarantee you that if there are men out there like this, if they come, and I'm pretty sure it might come when I'm dead, but if they had formulated a way to where if a man wanted to keep the baby, they say, oh, we got this instrument that we can put the fetus inside of, and we can just always have these healthy babies be grown there, I guarantee you that'll change the whole game up. But then at the same time, they might say, nope, it's up to that woman if she wants to allow that fetus to get put into that incubator to grow into a full-size baby, although the father is saying, I want the child. So that's just something I just want to kind of throw out there, because my biggest thing is I always link it back down to nature. And whether you believe in God or not, that's your own prerogative. But there's no way that these things that we see before our eyes, you guys, I'm talking to you guys through a camera. Somebody had to create that. This camera is functioning as a camera. I can't take this camera and put it on the axle of my car and expect it to be a wheel, because it wasn't created to be that. So what I'm saying is that for us to have this phenomenal thing that happens within ourselves that we couldn't even see it until we came up with microscopes, that we can sit there and create life. And yet at the same time, for us to be one of God's most, in my opinion, and God's most precious, brilliant, intelligent beings that's on this earth, animals even know whenever they do come together like that and have what you want to call mating, they know that it's going to be life produced from that. And then when they do it, they raise that life up and they do everything they can to protect that life. And here we are as human beings, the most intelligent. It seems like we're being pushed everything to do to even not have any life, just no life at all, none. And I don't understand it. So if we are saying that, if you saying that a woman has a choice to get rid of a fetus if she gets pregnant, then what if there was a law to where you are not allowed to have sex until you are ready to get pregnant? You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing it out there just for thought for people that are listening. And I see some. Oh, give me one second. Go ahead.
I definitely can agree with a bunch of the points that you're making here. So maybe I guess my argument comes off as I'm advocating for the abortions.
Oh no. Right? I'm taking you as you just saying like a choice. Like I always tell people, no matter what, people are going to make all of us have the free will that we were granted, and with that free will, people are going to make the choice to get rid of their child and not. I know it's going to happen. Right. All I can do is just say I don't agree with it, but I do know it's going to happen. But I just saying like I would like it if that it was actually understood and they understood exactly what they were doing. I would like it if in medicine, I get in trouble all the time with the AMA for running my mouth on stuff like that, is that I would love for people to actually know what it does in the long term to women's bodies when it messes up. Because like when you get pregnant, your body kicks these certain hormones into place and all these things happen. Then when they snatch that out of you, these women are so off. And so I don't care. Those women out there telling me I got 21 abortions and I'm happy. That's a god dang on lie. These people come through our clinics and stuff all the time. They don't show y'all that part. It's just like right now is that when it comes to healthcare, if we were told to swear a Hippocratic oath that we would do no harm, if you want to go in there right now, y'all know how I am. I'm real about stuff. If a woman goes into the clinic right now and said, I feel like I'm supposed to have bigger boobs, I want bigger boobs, you know what they're going to tell her? Your insurance is not going to pay for it. Why? Because that's considered cosmetic. I want a bigger butt. I identify as a big booty black woman, whatever. I want a bigger butt. Your insurance is going to say we're not paying for that because that's cosmetic. It's not a medical necessity. But at the same time, when they were able to get things passed to where a child who is not even fully mature to even make life decisions, you can have your child go in there and get their sex changed. And yet we won't say that's not a medical necessity. We will say, we won't say that's cosmetic. We'll turn around and say that's a medical necessity. And that's the reason why I get in trouble in medicine right now, because that is absolutely crazy. It's diabolical. Medicine is nothing more than to get your money. Abortion is $1 billion industry because those fetuses, they don't tell y'all this. And if y'all, I don't care if they report me, I don't care. People come from my licenses all the time. But they use those baby fetuses for stem cells. They use these baby fetuses for all sorts of crazy, diabolical, weird thing. That's why they push you to do it. If the medical world is pushing you to do anything, trust me, it's not for the betterment and the benefit of you. It's for the business of medicine, period. I don't care what it is. That's why we can label obesity as a disease, because if we label obesity as a disease, we can treat it medicinally with medication, which means there's going to be more money coming into us. If we can sit there and treat whatever you got going on as anything medically related, and we get it passed through legislation, through medical world, to say that this is a disease or whatever like that, we can treat it medicinally with medication and have you be a lifelong crackhead. They don't tell you the ramifications of getting sex change, that these people got to stay on this stuff for the rest of their life. They don't tell you that when they do get these changes, there's a 70% increase in suicide rate. They don't tell you that women do go and get these abortions done, theirs increased by 50% of offing themselves. And so if these things that we're telling our children and telling our family, that, hey, I believe you should be able to do it. I get it, but why would I actually tell a person that, knowing that the lifelong ramifications is going to be completely detrimental to them? So that's my word on that for right now. And I'll let you guys go. I'm going to go by one because you're getting ready to close it up. So if anybody got some closing words, I'll kick it off with, he hasn't spoken in a long time. I'll kick it off with American Man, then I'll let you go, Mr. Louisiana, and then my guy Unifier, I'll let y'all go in that order.
All right. I'm not going to go long here. I just want to say, Modern Renaissance Man, thank you for having me. Keep doing God's work. Good, sir. And yeah, that's it, man. Listen, everyone, I guess, just do the correct research to know what's going on. Don't just take political talking points. And just do, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I guess do what's best for you and your family. Even if it's a mistake, you feel it's best, that's pretty much where we are in society, right? I mean, they're going to do it anyway. But yeah, Modern Renaissance Man, thanks for having me. You have a great night. God bless to you and your family. Gentlemen, God bless you and your families.
Same to you.
Likewise, sir. Catch you later.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and, man, look, Renaissance, hey, it was definitely a pleasure, man, for my first time ever coming up. Didn't think I had the gonads to come up here and speak on a channel. But hey, look, I just come across you randomly. I listened to the topics. I was listening to you, man. Keep doing your thing. Like I said, we don't have to agree on everything, but we can agree on some things, man. It is definitely a pleasure. I may come off as saying my views, but nonetheless, we're in America. Everybody has their own different opinion, and that's what makes America great. But the problem is that it's not enough of us coming together with difference of opinions and trying to come up with a solution that can fix these issues. And I think that's where the divide is right now with America. But hey, keep doing your thing, bro. It was a pleasure speaking with y'all. Thank you for having me. And you definitely got a subscriber, and I'm gonna definitely be Cash Apping here too, man. So look, keep doing your thing, man.
Much
You've been
appreciated,
a
man.
subscriber for a long time now.
Yeah, I look forward to it, man. When I do these again, I'm gonna definitely be doing these a lot more in this coming year. And I told people, I promised them that I would. So whenever we do this, I look forward to seeing you up here, man.
Yes, sir. You have a good one. You have a blessed night, man.
All right,
Thank
likewise, sir. Mr. Louisiana. I like people from Louisiana to talk like that, man. They remind me of that movie. I forget what movie it was. It was this. I use it as a example. It's some. I don't know if you've seen the Unifier where it showed that clip of that little. It was a girl that was being smart to her mom, and then like while she was being smart, a woman looked at her and was like, if that was my daughter, I wouldn't let her talk to me like that. And she was like, see if you can fix it. And then the woman smacked her. You ever seen that clip?
I think I have.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
a while ago.
But it's just the way she talks. She's like, "Don't apologize to me. You said that to your mom." That's how I like how he talked, man. He got that slick like Louisiana thing. I like that.
I love the accent too, man. But yeah, man, no, it was great. It was great. It was really fun. I literally shut down everything I was doing tonight to hop on here, man. It was a really good discussion. You had some really awesome people on here, and so for me, the last thing I'll say is about what you were saying about the abortions. I believe it's demonic. I believe that, and then with the gender changing the gender of these kids, to me is demonic because I personally believe it comes down to the blood sacrifice of a kid, and I believe it's a satanic agenda. And I don't want to get your channel flagged by saying those things, but I believe it's a satanic agenda, slicing up these kids and doing all this stuff with these kids. It comes down to a blood sacrifice for me, and it's just the devil is busy. And when people condone it, and the kind of people that condone it, just look at them. Look at how they I won't say everybody, but a lot of people that really condone it. Look at them. Look at the darkness that they push. You know what I'm saying? So it's a demonic thing, and the devil's busy. And so, but it was fun, man. It was awesome. I always got a lot of respect for you, man. I always plug your stuff on my story or wherever I am, whenever I get a chance. So, man, you just keep doing what you're doing, man. It's awesome. Wish you and your family the best of Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up. And so, yeah, I'll be ready whenever you do these again. I'll try to be alert, and whether I hop on or whether I just listen, I'll be ready for the next one.
Sweet. Looking forward to it, man.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it.
You have a good night there.
All right, be blessed, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks, make sure y'all go check out my guy, Unifier TV. Again, he's on Instagram. So everybody that's in here right now, you guys all got a quick minute right now to go ahead and jump onto his Instagram and jump onto his YouTube. It's Unifier TV. UNIFIER TV. That's the name of his Instagram and his YouTube. So make sure you guys go over there and check him out and subscribe to his channel and follow him on Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a very, very good, productive panel. I know you guys were really putting it out there in the survey saying that you guys wanted me to do more live. You guys wanted me to do more panels and things like that. So I said I was going to start it next year, but I'm just jumping right on into it just to keep this thing going. I appreciate every last one of you guys in here that actually hit the thumbs up button, that hit the like button, the folks that's viewing in through the virtual thing you see right here through the phone. I appreciate every last one of you guys being in here, your comments, your prayers, all that good stuff. We're going to keep this thing going. To some of you familiar folks in here, my friend Tia J, and I see a lot of Char Weeks. I know you guys are around a lot of names in here. Werther's an original, one of the OGs in here as well. Steve Franksack was here. My girl Red was here. My moderators, all you guys, I appreciate you guys all being in here and supporting the channel and all that. And you guys all know how I say it. If you want a virtual thing, I'm in it right now.